to Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful Wednesday. We resume the NBA Finals for Game 4. The New York Knicks have a 2-1 series advantage against the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs were able to win Game 3. There's certainly a lot of hope and optimism for the Spurs heading into Game 4. More celebrities are showing up. It is now reported that Taylor Swift will be at the game coming up later today. It will continue to be a who's who of who is going to be in attendance at Madison Square Garden for what has been a phenomenal NBA Finals. We are going to start today with the Kansas City Royals. There's a lot of stuff to get into. Texas Tech has shown us that they plan on fighting whatever you got planned for their university with the Brendan Sorsby information. There is a lot happening right now in the world of sports. Let's dive right into it. But before we do any of that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I would greatly appreciate it. And number three, and most importantly, I need you guys to remember to go stop by and see our friends over at the other place. We got the World Soccer Championship coming up. We got the finals that are currently going on right now. Baseball is still happening. There's a lot of great summer sports. We also got a major UFC event on Sunday at the White House. So if you're looking for a place to kick back, relax, catch the game, catch the vibes, and you want to watch a little sports, there's no better place to do that than with our wonderful friends over at the other place. Go stop by any one of the area 5 locations. I'm sure by now you have heard it, but let me remind you, Jack Caglione probably had his best day in the majors yesterday. He hit not 1 but 2 home runs.
First pitch to Cags, and he drills it high in the air, deep right center field, headed for the fountains. It's a splashdown. Jack Caglione's second home run of the game. An ambush swing for a 2-run shot. The Royals have a 5-2 lead in the 6th.
That was Jake Eisenberg, courtesy of the Royals Radio Network. Jack Caglione had a phenomenal day. You guys know where I stand on all of this. I believe that the Royals season, for the most part, is over. If you were talking about this team being hyper-competitive, competing for a divisional spot, competing for a playoff spot, I think those conversations, for the most part, have ended. But I don't want to come on here every day and just beat up on the Kansas City Royals. Major League Baseball is already doing enough of that. They don't need me to pile on. But there are some positives. There are some takeaways that you could have for this season. And one of the major questions that the Royals needed to figure out was what they have in Jack Caglione. And let me tell you, he has been fantastic so far for them. Did you know that tonight, if Jack Caglione plays in tonight's game, and I imagine that he will, Rob, he will play in as many games as he played last season. Last year, Jack Caglione played in 62 games. So far, he has played in 61 games. So if he plays today, that will equal what he did last year. The improvement is noticeable with Jack Caglione, despite having fewer ABs this season than having last year. He has more runs. He has scored more runs this year. Hits, it is not close. Last year, Jack Caglione had 33 hits in 62 games. This year, he has 52 hits in 61 games. He has more doubles than he did last season. He has already hit more home runs than he did last season. He is tied right now at RBIs. I'm imagining he's going to blow past that number. He has more stolen bases, more walks this season. He has been a significantly improved hitter. From a batting average standpoint, 157 last year, up to 261 this year. On base percentage, 237 last year, 338 this year. Slugging percentage, a noticeable difference, 295 to 442 by every single metric that we have to evaluate baseball players. Jack Caglione has shown you noticeable and marked improvement. This is the player that we discussed last year around this time. This is the guy who is going to be and turn into one of those cornerstone players for the Kansas City Royals and allow them to continue to push forward and get back to being a playoff team, win the American League Central, and be a team that could potentially be dangerous. Jack Caglione being good and Jack Caglione being a staple, someone who you would consider to be a certainty, just gives you so much flexibility with what you can potentially do. It maybe makes a guy like Vinny Pasquantino a little bit expendable, where now you can go see what you could potentially get in a trade. It just opens things up for all of the possibilities that you could possibly have in how you build your roster and how you build your lineup for now and the foreseeable future. So congratulations to Jack Caglione. He has had a great start to this season. He has been by far and away the most improved player for the Kansas City Royals, and he has certainly give you a lot of reasons to be hopeful and optimistic for the future about what he can potentially turn into. So I want to read to you guys something here, and I'll try to squeeze this thing in just a little bit here. So this is from Texas Tech University. This is from their director of athletics, their AD. So you guys know Texas Tech has been receiving a lot of arrows over the last couple of days about the Brendan Sorsby news. So the AD came out, and we are now preparing for a fight. One of the biggest fights that we have potentially ever seen in college athletics. Listen to some of this. I've watched the reaction to Monday's court ruling with great respect for my colleagues across the sport. Many of them are people who I admire, but I owe it to Texas Tech and frankly to the truth to offer a few facts that seem to be lost in all the noise. He then continues to go on. Texas Tech is not a party to Brendan's lawsuit. We did not file it. We did not fund it. A young man in treatment for a clinically diagnosed addiction exercised his legal right to seek remedy in court, and a judge agreed with him. Our role has been to support his recovery, not to engineer his eligibility. I am a little bit torn in this. At the core of it, I do not think that Texas Tech did anything wrong. I've heard a lot of conversation about where this lawsuit was filed. Well, I did a little bit more reading. I did a little bit more research. If you were going to file something against the NCAA, you only have two places that you can file the lawsuit. You can either file it in your home state or you can file it in Indianapolis where the NCAA is. Why would anybody play a road game in that scenario? So, of course, you're going to file it in Texas. Those are your only two options. Brendan Sorsby cannot file this in Kansas City and get a, quote, neutral, end quote, judge. You either had to file it in Texas, where you are, or you have to file it in Indiana, where they are. So, Texas Tech, I believe, steps back, let Brendan Sorsby go through the legal process, and something that we discussed on this show and why I ultimately thought that Brendan Sorsby was going to be found eligible to play is the NCAA does not win these lawsuits. They lose pretty routinely, certainly in the ones that matter. They lost to Diego Pavia. They lost to Trinidad Chambliss. They just lost to Brendan Sorsby. I'm trying to figure out the ones that they do win. Now, for the most part, we are all on the same page here about Brendan Sorsby. I absolutely believe that he should be ineligible. There was a part in this release. I've heard the word integrity used a great deal over the last 48 hours. As someone who has dedicated his career to college athletics, I too believe integrity is central to our industry's success. I also think integrity applies to more than one front. Integrity of sports matters. So does the integrity of how we treat a 22-year-old who sought help entered residential treatment, and is working every day towards a recovery. Those two things don't have to be in conflict. This is where I think there is some nuance in this conversation and where I stand against Texas Tech. I think most reasonable people are on this side of the argument. I absolutely understand the value of structure and the importance of protecting Brendan Sorsby's mental health and not just throwing him to the wolves, so to speak. So if the plan was we're not going to let Brendan Sorsby play this year, he will not be eligible for us, there are certain check marks that he needs to clear and benchmarks that he needs to clear, but we will allow him to be on the scout team. He will be allowed to dress out. We want him to know that he is an important member of this team. And if Brendan Sorsby sits out for a year and then decides to come back after the injunction is completely resolved and wants to play at Texas Tech, he will happily be accepted. But ultimately, what I feel like is this is a little bit of lip service. Do I believe that Texas Tech means all that about a 22-year-old and his mental health and support system and help? And of course, sure, fine. But let's also not deny he was the number one quarterback in the transfer portal. If you are Texas Tech, you do not win the national championship without Brendan Sorsby. You have a chance to do that. You're a very good program. You have a lot of resources. You have invested very well. You're the favorite in the Big 12. This was your big coup to go get Brendan Sorsby. You are also fighting from that position too. So you can believe in integrity. You can believe in all of the support. That doesn't mean that he has to be on your team playing football for you. Texas Tech has, I think, made it very, very clear. They plan on fighting any legal action against them. So if K-State or Nebraska or fill-in-the-blank university, Big 12 conference, Big 10 conference, anybody, if they plan on trying to penalize Texas Tech for following the law here, no one is arguing whether or not Texas Tech has done something legally wrong. If you think that Brendan Sorsby should not play because of our sports moral obligation to me for integrity and preserving the sanctity of the game, that's a different conversation. But Texas Tech is not doing anything wrong, and they have made it very clear they plan on fighting. How serious does the NCAA want to fight this? How serious do the other teams in the conference want to fight this? Because reports are coming out. Every athletic director in the Big 12 has communicated to Texas Tech they do not want him to play, and they want Texas Tech to remove him from the team. And Texas Tech, with this letter, has put their foot in the sand. This athletic director, with his history, working there for 20 years, has also put his name and his reputation on this kid, and we plan on fighting you guys on this. This is the story of sports, in my opinion. This is the story of college football for the next couple of weeks. This is not going away anytime soon. Patrick Mahomes is probably going to speak at least one more time before all the Chiefs offseason things. You have to ask him about this. He is their most prominent alum. His logo is on one of their press releases about this. He needs to be asked his thoughts, his opinion, and if he believes that Brendan Sorsby should be allowed to play college football. You have to ask the face of not only the NFL, but Texas Tech athletics on that decision. We'll continue to keep this conversation going. We'll also get you ready for Game 4 of the NBA Finals as that series right now stays in New York. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's. All summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Sun Cruiser is the official ready-to-drink canned cocktail of the U.S. Open and U.S. Women's Open. We're excited to bring our vodka iced teas and lemonades to golfers and drinkers everywhere, and support these two prestigious championships and their fans with a refreshing Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. Crisp, clean, and no carbonation for the perfect sipper on the course. Join us for the U.S. Open watch party with special giveaways on June 18th and 19th at Minsky's locations. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for details. Please drink responsibly.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Whoa, okay. This one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
The T-Mobile one says their customers had the lowest wireless bills versus the other big guys over the past 5 years. And their latest experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now, or...?
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. Switch now and keep your phone, and T-Mobile will pay it off up to $800.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges up to $800 with new account qualifying unlocked device, credit, service, ported 90-plus days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. Virtual MasterCard typically takes 15 days. No cash access and expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC. Visit T-Mobile.com.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Follow this station on Instagram at The Fan 965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Well, I wasn't 100% sure if our phones work, so I certainly would have teased the possibility of our guest, but he is here. The phone lines are back up. Great job, Rob. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Dan Wolken. He covers college sports for Yahoo to talk about what I think is one of the top stories in sports right now, the Brendan Sorsby drama right now at Texas Tech. Dan, happy to have you on the show today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's just start with this. I was not surprised that he was ruled eligible. Now, maybe this is just taking a very small sample size, but Diego Pavia won his injunction. We saw Trinidad Chambliss also win his injunction. I just felt like it was a matter of time. The NCAA in the last 18 months just doesn't have a really good track record of winning these kinds of cases.
Yeah, fair, but I really thought that this was different because all of those other rules and a lot of NCAA rules, you can look at them and say, all right, well, if you take it from this angle or from that angle, there's a loophole here or there's a gray area there, and so it's all a matter of interpretation. There's no interpretation about the gambling rule. Like, if you gamble on the sport you play in, you're out. It's pretty simple. So the judge in the case, if you read the injunction, there's never any reason given. There's no logical train to sort of follow that leads you to the conclusion. It's just, it would be irreparable harm for Sorsby, and so he can play. Well, yeah, of course there would be irreparable harm. That's what happens. You break a rule or commit a crime or whatever the case may be, and you get in trouble. There is always irreparable harm. So it was a weird ruling. Honestly, this judge is a joke. I'm sorry, that you have to say that about a person in the legal profession who rules on cases, but it's total lack of credibility. I don't put this one on the NCAA at all.
No, I don't put this on the NCAA as all. I guess my point more than anything was it just continues to show a lack of power and a lack of, I guess, institutional control. I don't really know what they can enforce anymore. I think for the most part, the NCAA is probably more in line with the public than they've ever been before. The public doesn't want kids playing for 7 different schools. The public wants a little bit of a salary cap. The public wants Brandon Sorsby to be ineligible. But right now, it it doesn't feel like they can really enforce anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, because these rules were not collectively bargained as they are in professional sports, then whenever somebody feels wronged by a ruling, they can take it to court. And obviously we have a very interesting and complex legal system, and you can look for a locally tied-in judge, and it goes into all of these other issues. But yeah, it's simply because the NCAA for a long time has been operating with the consent of the schools, but not the consent of the athletes. And so it's created this tension that for the last 5 years continually gets tested in court, and a lot of these rules, frankly, are illegal. This one, I think, is a good rule. It's a rule that is accepted by every other sport, every other league. So, I don't really understand this judge. But yeah, that's the world the NCAA is living in right now, and it's certainly creating a lot of headaches.
Right now, we're talking to Dan Wolken, college sports writer at Yahoo Sports. Dan, what did you make of the statement that was released from the athletic director at Texas Tech?
Weaselly. Look, we know that Brandon Sorsby's got this gambling addiction, and we can take that at face value. And certainly Texas Tech should support him in his recovery from this issue. But that does not mean that the recovery process has to include him playing quarterback at Texas Tech. Texas Tech, I wrote this yesterday, needs to have some adults in the room to stand up and just say, no, we're not going to do this. Brandon Sorsby, you're a good kid, and we're sorry it didn't work out, and we're going to help you, and you can stay in school, and we'll honor a scholarship, and we'll get you all the resources you need, but you crossed the line that can't be crossed, and you're not going to play for us. So Kirby Hokut's statement has a lot of stuff in there about how much they want to help Brandon Sorsby, but it's very self-serving because you have to acknowledge that it's a choice to play him. Texas Tech has a choice. They can support him and not play him, and yet that is never brought up in the statement at all, and that's why, to me, it's just a whole bunch of nothing.
Dan, do you feel like the other schools are going to be able to fight this? Because the Big 12 has come out and they have been very vocally opposed to it, privately opposed to it as well. We saw the Big 10 come out and say something. We've seen individual schools kind of comment on this thing. Do you think that the other schools are going to be able to really force any kind of recourse? Because Texas Tech just put their line in the sand with the statement that you and I both read. Texas Tech is prepared to let him play this year, and they are going to back him, and they are prepared to fight this. How much do you think the other schools are going to try to fight it?
Well, there's a lot of pressure right now on Brett Yormark, for sure, because there's athletic directors and presidents in that league, basically all of them, who are up in arms about this, and they're extremely upset, and they want Yormark to do something. And Yormark, that to my knowledge, will be able to do something because they're not a party to the injunction. The injunction was very narrow and specific against the NCAA. The injunction says the NCAA cannot punish Sorsby or Texas Tech, but it doesn't say anything about the Big 12. So I don't know exactly what all the options are, and I'm not sure the Big 12 yet knows either. They have lawyers that are looking over all this stuff, but that's where the recourse has got to come in. It's got to come in through the conference office, and to me, in my opinion, they need to exert maximum leverage here, up to and including we're going to kick you out of the conference if that's an option for them. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but that's what I would do. And if Texas Tech wants to sue them, good luck, buddy.
Dan, it's very rare, and you know this as well as anybody with how long you've covered the sport. It's rare that you get all of these different college administrators and athletic directors all on the same page. They're not on the same page about really anything. They all seem to be on the same page about what to do with Texas Tech here.
Well, yeah, because the rule is so blatantly obvious. Like, the gambling part, look, we can be cynical all day long about all of these administrators and all of these coaches and being self-serving and wanting to win and living in the gray area on various issues, and that's all totally fair. But I think everybody sort of understands here that if you get to a point where players are allowed to bet on their own games, or college football players betting on college football games, that the sport would be look, I don't want to be over dramatic and say it would be ruined, but it would certainly be compromised. It would certainly be anytime something goes wrong for a team, the fans would say, well, maybe it was fixed. Maybe somebody was tanking because of gambling debts. It introduces just a whole level of suspicion into your sport over everything and anything that could happen that starts this spiral to fans kind of losing interest. And I think everybody understands that's not some sort of far off theoretical danger. Like that's a real thing that they would be risking by going down that path. So I think that is 99% of why these people are up in arms about it. This is the issue that speaks to the integrity of the competition. And if that gets compromised, they're all in real trouble.
Dan, I'll get you out of here with this last question. I'll ask you to look inside your crystal ball for just a little bit, just because I don't think this story is going away anytime soon. There's not a lot of other news in college athletics. I think this story is going to really dominate things. I mean, up through, I think, media day. You have to ask every coach about it, every athletic director that decides to speak. You have to ask everybody about this. It is really dominated. How do you think this ends? How do you think this story reaches a conclusion? Do you think Brandon Sorsby plays this year at Texas Tech?
Look, it's tough for me to predict because there's going to be all different legal machinations. I don't know how quickly the NCAA can get an appeal in front of the appropriate people. I mean, I think ultimately something will happen that probably prevents him from playing, whether that's through Big 12 action or this getting overturned on some sort of expedited appeal. Like, I don't know. I tend to think something will happen, but if you're talking about today, if the season is today, he's playing. So, I'm projecting things happening over the next couple months that would change that. And certainly I believe that would be the right outcome. But right now, I mean, it's who knows? This is all totally unpredictable.
That is Dan Wolken joining us on the show, college sports writer with Yahoo Sports. Dan, I look forward to having you on once it starts to get a little bit cooler to, actually talk about the games. That's Dan Wolken joining us on the show. Thanks, Dan, for your time today.
Yeah, hey, thanks.
Absolutely. That is Dan Wolken joining us on the show today. Just wanted to get his thoughts on right now what is happening with Brandon Sorsby. Rob, I want to get your opinion on this and we'll move on. How do you think this ends? What do you think the conclusion to this story is?
I don't know if this is a cop-out answer but this is how I feel. I think the legislation in Congress passes. That's what I think the conclusion is. And I think then there's an actual governing body and we have actual rules and we have actual actionable things we can do to Brennan Sorsby. So I think Sorsby's case is going to tip the scales in Congress, and some point this summer that legislation will pass and we can then have actual rules that will end with Brennan Sorsby not playing. But I believe the answer is we actually see change in college sports through Congress because of this.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, what does it matter if he doesn't play at Texas Tech? He'll just play somewhere else. I do not think there is another Division I school that would pick up Brendan Sorsby if Texas Tech dismissed him from the team. Now, I can't speak to a D2, D3. The talent is immense, but I don't know if Brendan Sorsby would do that. I think Brendan Sorsby would then try to get into the National Football League if that ends up being the case. But I do not think if Brendan Sorsby right now got dismissed from Texas Tech, I don't think that he is going to be the quarterback for Purdue. I think the other leagues would just fall in line and would all be in lockstep. I think the only school he can play for at this point is Texas Tech. There's too many leagues and people that have come out. If the Big Ten is saying we are trying to come together where none of our schools are going to play Texas Tech, there's no school in the Big 12 that will do it. The SEC doesn't want to touch this thing. It's radioactive. There is not a Division I team that is taking a swing at Brendan Sorsby. If they dismiss him from the team, he either drops down to a D2, D3 level, and they're just willing to bet on the talent and sort of out of sight, out of mind. He's not going to be on ABC, NBC, so who cares then at that standpoint? And they'll put up with the backlash for the best player then at whatever level it is. Or he just got to go off and get ready for the NFL draft. But he is not leaving Texas Tech and then going to be the quarterback at Auburn. That is not how his story is ending in college sports. Not at all.
I literally can't think of it. Too many teams have said they're anti the idea of him. I can't imagine
there hasn't been any school that has even appeared to be neutral on it. Everybody is on one side. Now, it's easy to talk tough, and then if he's available, you could certainly be singing a different tune, because I'm guessing if this was on another team, Texas Tech would probably be in line with that team too. If this was Avery Johnson, I don't know if Texas Tech would be like, hey, you're doing your best. I don't know if that's the stance they would take. I don't think there's another school that would touch this kid. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze right now in upsetting everybody around you. And that's why I think ultimately, Texas Tech is just going to have to give in to the pressure of it all. Is Texas Tech prepared to fight this? Not just for the rest of the summer. I mean, every single week are they prepared to fight this. This is not just going to be a story that lives from now until August. This is going to be a story that lives between now and whenever Texas Tech gets eliminated. Texas Tech is the best team in their league. You got to go on the road and you got to play road games with this kid. This story is not ending. This is the biggest college individual story in a very, very long time. So if you're going to fight this, if you're Texas Tech, you got to be prepared to take this all the way. Ultimately, I think the pressure from everybody else is just going to be so immense. I think they're going to ultimately end up dismissing them from the team.
I mean, here's my thing. As of now, Texas Tech has said, we're not doing that. Now, maybe there more and more and more and more external pressure rises and they do that. But have you heard anything from Texas Tech brass, Texas Tech fans, Texas Tech anyone that makes you think, oh, we'll succumb to the pressure. We just, it is what it is. They've doubled down. Kirby Holtcutt's put out multiple statements saying, yeah, he's playing. I don't know why you guys aren't supporting him with his difficult time of gambling. It is what it is. Like, hey, the judge said the punishment's 2 games. We're cool with that. Like, I think Texas Tech's prepared to have him play football in the fall. I don't know they're going to succumb to that pressure you're talking about.
Let's switch gears here. You guys know where we all sit on Brendan Sorsby. I'm sure it will come up again at some point between now and the end of the show. This is where I would like to transition. There's some words and phrases that you never want to be associated with when someone describes you? For example, have you ever asked a woman about a man? Like, oh, do you know Rob? And she's like, oh, yeah, he's a creep. Like, that's not the adjective that you want for the girls to be describing you as. Oh, do you know Bill? Yeah, I don't know. Bill's kind of creepy. That's not the adjective that you want describing it. Rob, have you ever been in this situation and let's say a man asked you about another man? Oh, yeah, I was just talking to Tom. You know him? Yeah, I don't know, man. Tom kind of weird. These are just not adjectives that you want people describing you. This is just not how you want people to break it down. Brandon Ayuk is weird. I got enough evidence to present to the court that Brandon Ayuk is weird. Now, I told you guys last week that the cops were looking for Brandon Ayuk because he posted a video of him speeding in his car on YouTube. The police did not just catch him speeding. He was recording himself while driving, was driving 104 miles an hour. You are speeding on every single road in America at that speed. He then posts that video on the internet. Cops looking for him. So he is still on the San Francisco 49ers. I think it is very obvious that Brandon Ayuk is trying to get off of the team. What I believe that the San Francisco 49ers have shopped him around via trade. I don't think anybody wants to trade for Brandon Ayuk because he's weird. Listen to his latest IG post.
Man, stop running from the belt. The belt coming. You scared. They scared. The truth is they scared. They know how I get. They gonna say, oh yeah, BA did this, BA did that. BA did, you know that allegedly. But what they not gonna say is BA suck at football because they know how I get. And they running from that belt that's on the way. It's inevitable. It's coming. Stop running. Stop being a female dog. Stop being a little cat. Stop running from the belt.
You know what I think is happening? I think that Brandon Ayuk is now acting out and trying to get San Francisco to release him. I think the Niners have tried to trade him. I don't think they're willing to trade him for pennies on the dollar. I also don't think that other teams are ready to take on Brandon Ayuk's contract. He's not healthy. He doesn't appear to be the most stable of human beings right now. Anybody that would drive 104 miles an hour, record themselves, videotape them doing it, and post it on the internet, you are not of sound mind. I think he's trying to force the Niners' hand and get the Niners to just outright release him and then let him go play for whatever team he wants to play. The only reason we are even talking about this is Brandon Ayuk is on the no-go for me. I do not want Brandon Ayuk in Kansas City. I do not want him on the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't. They already got enough problems. They do. They already got enough. They got enough to deal with Rashee Rice. They got enough to deal with their own wide receiver room. I'm not bringing Brandon Ayuk into the mix. Absolutely not. So from a talent perspective, maybe Ayuk still got a lot left in the tank. We don't know. He tore his ACL. He's been banged up. He's been injured. Maybe he could help somebody. He would not be helping me. I don't want Brandon Ayuk anywhere near Kansas City. I don't want him at Jack Stack. I don't want him at Gates. I don't want him to see the Western Auto sign. I don't want him to go to I don't want him anywhere in the area. Please keep Brandon Ayuk out of the city. Please keep Brandon Ayuk away from this community and away from this team. He is nothing but trouble. You will not hear me ever advocate for the Chiefs to go get Brandon Ayuk. I don't care if he gets released in the middle of this segment. Absolutely not, Rob. There's no scenario in which I would want Brandon Ayuk in Kansas City. I do not care what the dollar amount could potentially be.
Do you think his weird videos have other GMs thinking the way you think, or you think there's someone out there?
Some teams, for sure.
Like, I don't know that a contender is watching his videos and being like, you know what? We're willing to look past that because he can play football when healthy, which is also a big question mark. Like, if you're the Patriots, cherry pick a good team, are you saying, watching these videos on Instagram, being like, you know what? I think there's still talent there. Like, I think he might be Instagram videoing his way out of the league right now.
You and I all know that talent usually wins out, and there's normally going to be a team that's so desperate and they'll get them for so cheap that they will take a chance. if you're Buffalo, for example, I wouldn't be mad if you took a shot at Brandon Ayuk and make it where if you continue this nonsense, we could outright release you. How desperate are you? How bad do you want that chip? How bad do you want to add the piece that could potentially get you over the hump? So I hear what you're saying. I think it depends on who you are. I can only speak for the 816-913-785-660. I don't want anything to do with Brandon Ayuk. No. I'd rather give Tyreek Hill the key to the city. I'd rather give Stephon Diggs Humanitarian of the Year. I'd rather give Stephon Diggs the Walter Payton Man of the Year award before I would pick up Brandon Ayuk if those are my options. No chance. I don't want literally anything to do with Brandon Ayuk on the Chiefs. Coming up at the top of the hour, Cody Tapp is going to join us on the show. They're doing something very cool. It is the Cody and Gold garage sale. We'll have them talk about it coming up on the other side. You know what? We are going to play a very quick game. Rob, it's been a while since we've played a game. I'll tell you the rules next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a diamond sourcing expert, I'll tell you just how differently we source our diamonds so your engagement ring can be the most beautiful. We work directly with our diamond partners who reserve the best stones just for us. We handpick and inspect each diamond, then negotiate the best price. At Shane Company, we believe this is the only way to properly buy a diamond, because a friend goes the extra mile to make sure you get your dream diamond at your dream price. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
The finals are here and underway, and both teams are set. And now you can trade every single game over on Kalshi. New York currently trading at 56% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could net you $186 in profit. Or if you don't think the upset is coming, you could trade on the other side. San Antonio currently trading at 46%, meaning that a $100 investment could turn into $216. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people. It's in a live market, meaning no house, no odds makers, and the odds move. You can buy in and out at any time. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call
Call Select Quote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Some days, self-care starts with Nature-Made gummy vitamins, a deep breath, and a little encouragement.
Mom, I'm really nervous.
Me too, honey, but we've got this. Repeat after me. I'm gonna have a good day.
I'm going to have a good day.
I choose joy no matter what comes my way.
I bring joy wherever I go.
Quality gummy vitamins from Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
This afternoon, expect a high of 90 with a chance of showers and thunderstorms.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
I wish we could play these games with you, but you know what? Radio just doesn't have any vision. It doesn't have any imagination, so we just can't play fun games like we used to back in the day. You remember, Rob, when we would play the little trivia mini game? Was it not fun? Was it not enjoyable? They just don't let us have any fun. Coming up at the top of the hour, Cody Tapp is going to join us on the show. They are having their annual garage sale. They tried to stop them from doing that. Radio they have no vision. That's really the problem sometimes. All right, Rob, this is what I want to play. Did you see that the top 10 most popular jerseys in the NFL, the list is out? You know what? We're not going to do all 10 here. We don't need to do that. We're going to do top 5. We're going to put top 5 answers on the board, Rob. Family Feud style. Can you guess the top 5 most popular jerseys right now in the National Football League? 3 strikes.
I'm going to start with Josh Allen. Okay.
Josh Allen, #1 answer on the board. Josh Allen has the most popular jersey in the National Football League. All right, Rob, you are off to a great start here. Top 5 most popular jerseys in the league. You have the #1 overall answer. Josh Allen, can you name the other 4?
Okay, I'm gonna go either big market or big celebrity. So let's say in the celebrity lane. Josh Allen, married to a celeb, someone engaged to a celebrity. I'm going to say Travis Kelce is my next answer.
Travis Kelce not on the board. In fact, Travis Kelce not in the top 10 for jersey sales. So I understand the logic. I see what you were trying to do with Travis Kelce. But no, Travis Kelce is not one of the 5 most popular jerseys in the National Football League. Okay. People are over the big 8-7. They're over the big Yeti.
Okay. All right. Let me think here. Who's a star in a big market? The Giants don't have one. The Jets definitely don't have one. I'll say Dak Prescott. Dallas is a national brand. Dak Prescott.
I'm starting to question whether or not Rob watches the National Football League or not. Not off to a great start here. These are the 5 most popular jerseys in the National Football League. You have the #1 answer in Josh Allen. There are 4 more players left. You already have 2 strikes. You got to protect the plate here, Rob. You got to get on the board here.
Okay, let me go with the MVP. He's in LA. Big market MVP, Matt Stafford.
An embarrassing display from Rob Britton. It really was. An embarrassing display.
I want to hear this top 5 that doesn't include the MVP, the quarterback of the Cowboys.
This would have been so much more fun with the callers. We just got to start playing the game. We just got to start having people play for the love of the game, you know? All right, this is the list. Number 10, Micah Parsons. Number 9, Jordan Love. Number 8.
Jordan Love is a top 10 in jersey sale? Okay.
I'm reading to you.
I'm not saying you made the list, but wow.
NFL list.
Okay.
Number 8, Caleb Williams. Number 7, Jalen Hurts. Number 6, Patrick Mahomes. Now down to the top 5. Number 5, Jaden Daniels.
I would have
very, very surprising.
Literally no one would have gotten that.
I feel like everybody's moved off from Jaden Daniels. It wasn't that long ago. Everybody loved Jaden Daniels. He would have been the number 1 overall pick. You would have invested the next 10 years of your franchise to Jaden Daniels. We don't talk about him anymore. He don't come up anymore. People have moved on to the Iceman. Jaden Daniels, number 5 on the board. Number 4, a little surprising you didn't at least guess this. The reigning Offensive Player of the Year, the best receiver in the National Football League, Jackson Smith-Njigba, was number 4 on the list. Number 3, the Madden cover art from last year, Saquon Barkley, was number 3rd on the list.
That's surprising to me. If you're an Eagles fan, you don't have a Barkley jersey already?
I'm just telling you. Barkley 3, Jalen Hurts 7, Eagles, very popular.
Apparently.
Number 2, also very surprised you did not get this, given the fact of he's your favorite quarterback in the league. Number 2, Drake May. Drake May had the 2nd most popular jersey last year in the National Football League. So the top 5, Jaden Daniels, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Saquon Barkley, Drake May, and Josh Allen. Those round out the top 5 jerseys in the National Football League.
Couple surprises on there. I'm actually surprised bigger markets aren't dominating. Like Philadelphia, okay, I get it. But like, there are no Rams players? The Rams, which might be the best team in the league this upcoming season, had no players, had the MVP, none. Myles Garrett, none.
People not getting that Nakua jersey. Obviously, they're not getting it.
JSN makes sense to me. It's probably an omission by me, but I mean, I thought Cowboys are just such a big brand. No Cowboys on the list.
Yeah,
multiple Packers. I mean, that's a town the size of Olathe is still in jerseys like that.
For sure. No, I don't have the answer. Someone asked, when is this from? This list is from March of 2025 through February of 2026. So that is where we currently are with jersey sales. Those are the top 10 most popular jerseys in the National Football League.
Are you surprised by no Kelsey at all either? Like Mahomes at 6, I get it. I thought.
I feel like the buzz with Kelsey has died down a little bit.
I think
obviously he's obviously still very popular. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying is like 2 years ago he was hosting television shows. He was in movies. I don't feel like it's at the level that it was 18 months ago. But also important to note the Chiefs weren't that good this year. You know, like so they played in big time games, but it's a lot different when you're on a 6-11 football team as opposed to when you're on a team that's going to the Super Bowl the way that they were. So some of it is just the Chiefs aren't as hot as they were a year ago at this time.
Didn't slow down Mahomes' numbers.
Quarterback's a little different.
That's fair.
At this point, the only people I think that are getting the Kelsey jerseys are Swifties. I don't know if the random person is getting the Kelsey jersey. I think you're getting the Mahomes jersey if you're getting one Chiefs jersey. So, I mean, once the Swiftie rush has kind of died down a little bit, or you already bought the Travis Kelce jersey, I don't know if you're turning that group over the way that they were a little bit ago. Now, we'll see. I mean, they're about to get engaged. They're about to get married. What does that look like at the end? Maybe he's changing it to Swift on the back. Then that'll be the most popular jersey in the league. Can you imagine if Kelsey took Kelsey Swift on the back? Yeah, that'll be the most popular jersey in the league for the next year if that's what he decided. If he decided to hyphen his last name like Beyonce Knowles Carter, yeah, it'd be the most popular jersey in the league.
That would be hilarious for a multitude of reasons, but I'm actually cheering for it now. The Royals stink. I need something to talk about in July. Their wedding's in July, allegedly, reportedly, according to TMZ. Let him be Swift Kelsey. Let him be hyphenated. Let her be hyphenated. That would also be a major story.
Am I the only one that thinks that announcement was a misdirection?
The MSG thing?
I think they're already married. If you want my hot take.
Define married. You think they already had a ceremony?
I think they are already married, and I think they will announce it at a later time.
I don't think that. I think she and he are too popular not to have that many celebrities hide it.
Or I think they are telling you it's one location.
Oh, to run you to another.
And then they are secretly going to get married in Rhode Island, and then we'll find out later, like, oh, this was some big elaborate ruse.
I believe that. That I believe. I believe MSG is a ruse, but I don't believe they're actually married yet.
I just feel like everybody associated with it, I think it is very, very clear. Everybody who is actually going to the wedding has been under very, very strict, we can't even talk or joke about it in public. So I then find it hard to believe that a month before, we basically now know all the details and it comes from TMZ. I feel like it was a misdirection. Maybe I'm just being cynical in all of this, but I would not be surprised at all if they already got married in Rhode Island like a month ago and they just plan on announcing it close to the time that they were supposed to get married. That you'll see an Instagram post on the 3rd of July and they've already gotten married and they already had a ceremony and they end up telling us the story later. That's my Kelsey Taylor Swift wedding conspiracy. Coming up at the top of the hour, Cody Tapp is going to join us on the show. They are doing their garage sale. We'll find out more about it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State athletics. 96.5 The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sports books. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
If the high cost of filling up is weighing you down, lighten your load at Hy-Vee. This Saturday and Sunday, get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount with every $60 purchase. Stock up on groceries and stack up the fuel savings. Earn 30 cents per gallon with your $60 purchase. 60 cents per gallon with a $120 purchase. The more you spend, the more you'll save. Your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss the 2-day Fuel Saver event this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee's special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit TrulyHardSeltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This Royals coverage is brought to you by Peter's Clothiers. Looking for the perfect Father's Day gift? Right now at Peter's Clothiers, save 30% on select Johnny O styles. Premium comfort, timeless style, and savings Dad will love. Stop by Peter's Clothiers today at 124th and State Line Road.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland on June 12th with The Drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 8. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. Join 96.5 The Fan at the Peanut in the Northland on Friday, June 12th as C-Dot and Rob broadcast live starting at 2 with kickoff to follow at 8 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Do you know somebody that just gives amazing hugs? Well, when I think of that person in my life, it's Cody Tapp. He's on the show. Cody, how are you doing, man?
Doing okay. I would not pride myself in my hug giving, but for you, Carrington, I'll try. Maybe for charity.
Is that on one of the lists for the Cody and Gold garage sale? Like, can I pay $40 for an enthusiastic Cody Tapp hug?
Like a real hug? It's not on the list, but I mean, I don't know. We've got like baked goods for me, so not to say that I'm not unwilling to put things on the list just as long as it raises money for the museum.
So I guess let's start with this, Cody. There's a lot I want to kind of pick your brain on. What led you guys to have this idea? Take us through the journey of executing this idea and raising the amount of money that you have for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
Yeah, honestly, genuinely, it started. I was watching the Royals broadcast auction one year. And, it'd be like the C-Money guy or whatever. Who knows? They'd be bidding on, all right, we got a dinner for 10 with George Brett coming up for $15,000. It could be yours. I'm like, man, we can't. Who can afford it? And obviously there are people who can. So we thought, what if we had a broadcast auction, kind of like that, but worse? And so in a funny way, it was like, we have all these items, we have these things, and a lot of times for these big, huge charity events, they don't do small items or small stuff or experiences that involve the actual people who are going on the show, like golfing with the people at the station or going to these places with Dusty and Bink, or, we've got like a Jake Eisenberg broadcast experience. I just didn't see much of that stuff up there. So we started it small and started it with even things that legit felt like they belonged in a garage sale and still have items like that. And then it just kind of grew. So we slowly had more and people kept donating stuff and it made it get bigger. So the Royals gave us some stadium banners this year of Bobby Wood Jr. and Lucas Erceg and Vinny Pasquantino and stuff. We're like, you know what? The stuff's getting a little bit better, but we still try to keep some stuff in there priced for people to actually buy.
Right now, we're joined by Cody Tapp talking about their garage sale that they are currently doing. This is still ongoing right now. If people want to participate, if people want to see what's available, how would they do that?
Yeah, so it's going on until 7 o'clock tonight. We just do one-day bidding. You can go to the website, 965thefan.com. Right on the front page, there's a link. You just click that, and it'll follow you over to the auction site. So, participating is easy. You can either donate, or you can either bid on an item, or you can just flat donate if you want. And honestly, Carrington, literally anything. Bobbleheads. Okay, great. The banners I just mentioned. There's a painting of you, Carrington Harrison, done by a local artist. So if somebody's just thinking, I want to hang that up in my house, that's available. There's lots of choices to it. And we got stuff from a little bit of everything. So it's easy enough. If you just go to our website and click through stuff, you can find it. I'll custom bake you something. Now, I did say it can't be like a wedding cake, C-Dot. I think one year Nick Schwartz bought this, our former producer, and he asked for German chocolate cake, and just because that's it's an annoying cake to make. And just because he asked me to make that, I made it like 6 tiers and made him drive it home just to like mess with him. But I will bake it for you, just as long as it's within reason. So, I mean, it can cover a large swath, C-Dot.
Yeah, I don't really think that you're telling the story correctly about my artwork. Like, I'm on the site right now. The Jack Caglione is going for $25 right now. The Buck O'Neil, the legendary Buck O'Neil, that's going for $40 right now. The Carrington Harrison's going for $50 right now. Right. The Carrington picture is going for more than Buck O'Neil and more than Jack Caglione is going for. So don't just make it seem like, oh, we even got a picture of you. This is a big-time moneymaker for you guys.
At the moment, it is making us money. You told me that if it would get it to at least $60, so if we get like one more bid on it, you said you'd sign it next to the artist name, and take a picture with them when they pick it up, didn't you?
Yeah. If that thing gets to at least $60, I will sign it. If it gets to $100, I will sign it, and I will also take a picture with the person while holding it. I want to do my part to help raise money for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum too.
Honestly, anything so it's so funny, some of the stuff we have in there, because I think sometimes time matters. Like one of the items in there, Carrington, is, and I swear it is this baseball. I know it's going to be it's not authenticated, but trust me. We went to Jack Caglianone's debut. He hit 2 home runs last night, as you know. And by the way, not that you're asking for a sports take just this moment, I think he's getting ready to take off as the kind of prospect you've been hoping for. So great news. But I went to his major league debut because we did the whole road trip and all that other stuff. We went out to St. Louis, and I went out. Only media was allowed in there. I went out there for his BP, and I picked up one of his BP home run balls because I thought it'd be fun to put in the garage sale. So he hit 2 BP home runs. I grabbed the other one, went into the bullpen. I grabbed it. It's there with one of our old CAG shirts from the Cody and Gold road trip. Even that kind of stuff's in there. See how weird and random we can get?
Cody, why do you think that someone is bidding on a custom song from Cody Tapp? Right now, it's going for $60. That's not $60 that is well spent, in my opinion.
So, in fairness, the last time I did it for a business. He said it helped. I did it for a business in Waldo.
It helped what? His competitors?
Flow Rider. Well, he said it helped. What was it? The song was, I got battered onion rings, drinks perfect pours. The whole city's looking at her. To Boots with a Fur.
Okay, I got it.
And
I got it.
I said, literally, I'll make it to anything. Honestly, they can block a song, too. It's in there. Anything to raise money, Carrington. Custom song for me can be to your loved one, for your business. I don't really care. I'll sing a lullaby. Whatever you need to make money for the charity, you know?
For sure. Someone says, C-Dot, would you sign it Rock Chalk? I would sign it Rock Chalk, but it has to get to $250. $250 is what it has to get to for me to sign it Rock Chalk.
He's in a Mizzou shirt in the painting, too. That's what makes it funny.
I'm saying, right now it's at $65. If somebody gets it up to $250, I'll happily sign it Rock Chalk. I don't mind signing it Rock Chalk for $250 to raise for the Negro Leagues Museum, but I'm not signing it for less than that. You're not paying $80 for me and I'm signing it Rock Chalk. I can't give you that satisfaction.
You got to sell your soul for more than that, you know? And I think that that's fair. I don't remember what it was. Alex was trying to convince. So he lost a bet with us and had to wear this extra small Kansas City-based Hooters uniform on the show.
I remember that.
It's in the garage sale as game used because Drew didn't wash it after, just in case that's your thing. And so it's on there, and he agreed that if it got to $100, he would wear it for the person to pick it up. And I thought, oh my gosh, that might keep the bid down, was my fear. You know, we got to be working the other way. We're trying to raise money.
Right now, we're joined by Cody Tapp. We're talking about the Cody and Gold garage sale. The bidding is going to end today at 7 o'clock. Cody, I don't know the answer to this. Can you just buy it now, so to speak? You know how if you're on eBay, you can just avoid the bidding process. You can just click right now and just say, I don't want to deal with that. I want to buy it. Is that a possibility where someone could look at it and just say, hey, I want this 2012's Cleveland Indians hat. I'm just going to buy it right now?
At the moment, we don't have that, mostly because if people who don't realize, we don't have some like secret team working on this. It's just like me, Alex, and Drew slowly sticking these items on here, guessing at what their starting bid should be, and then making adjustments if we need to. So we do not have a buy now price, and we do not have shipping at the moment because people are always asking to ship stuff. It's like, I don't want to spend my life at FedEx. You got someone local who can grab it and ship it out for you, be my guest, but we try to keep this thing local like a garage sale would be, right? You couldn't look up someone's garage sale in your neighborhood and ask them to send the thing to you. So at the moment, no buy it now price. You just got to keep an eye out on it. I am actively in a group chat with Joshua Briscoe and Nate Taylor because we're talking about the Luis Reese-Zammit fully authentic, full-size, high-quality Chiefs helmet.
That's crazy.
Because we all want it for different reasons because it's obscure piece of Chiefs history.
I do have a couple of sports questions that I would like to get your opinion on. The first one is with the Kansas City Royals. This season has not gone the way that anybody wanted it to go, not the way anybody expected it to go. But if you could find any silver lining in this, I think the silver lining has to be Jack Caglione. We spent so much time a year ago painting him like he was going to be the next big thing. I don't know if people are now paying attention. Hey, you were right. He is turning into that. He is off to a phenomenal start this season.
Yeah, the only, we can mention some of the other bright spots after, but there's no reason to think he was a top prospect in all of baseball. He would have been the number one prospect going into the year. Now, the power is coming. All the other numbers are fine. Batting average is fine. On-base percentage is fine. Strikeout numbers, whatever you're worried about, those numbers are all fine. Even his OPS, while a little lower than maybe you'd like for a slugger, still not bad. And one of the better ones on the team. And it seems like he's getting ready to, unlock it. Confidence is a crazy thing. So, I think Vern mentioned on our show earlier today, without question, for as many things that have gone wrong this season, Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen are not the reason. They have lived up to their expectation. Cags feels like he's getting ready to maybe exceed his expectation over the next couple of months, but those two guys haven't disappointed. The only other bright spot in the season is J.J. Piccolo is good at finding pitching everywhere, so Kolic's having a nice year, or, Avila's made a couple of good starts in a row, but that's not enough to save your year because the bullpen was so bad and the middle of the order struggled so much, but at least for the long-term part, at least Cags is good. And I genuinely do think he's getting ready to take off, Carrington. I don't think just because of 2 home runs. He's hitting 450 his last 7 games. He's hitting 330 in his last couple of weeks. I mean, he looks like the kind of player who's getting ready to take off.
Cody, if you had Knicks season tickets, how would you have handled tickets to Game 3 and Game 4? We were debating this yesterday. I would have sold the Game 3 tickets and I would have gone to Game 4, and this would have been my logic. No matter how amazing Game 3 was, the Knicks could not win the championship in Game 3. They could win the championship in Game 4, which that makes that the game that I would want to be at. So I would have kept the Game 4 tickets but sold Game 3. But we all know those tickets were going for a significant amount of money. You got little ones. You got a wife. How would you have handled this? What would you have done if you had Knicks tickets to Games 3 and Game 4?
Unless you can afford it like Spike, sell. I mean, come on. If you spent $5,000 on your Knicks season tickets or $10,000 on your Knicks season tickets, and you're just some dude who's got a regular-ish job in New York, you can afford the season tickets, but it's not like you can afford Spike seats. Sell them. Sell them and fund the next 15 years of your Knicks fandom. It might pay for the next 5 seasons worth of season tickets. It's crazy to me. I might consider, dead serious, selling both. I can be a Knicks fan and not be at the game. I can just be a Knicks fan and watch the game at the bar with my boys. I'm not so sure I wouldn't sell both, but I would definitely sell 3. I'd consider on 4 and think about it. And if it ever came down to we got another game back at home to clinch it, that's the one that would be the really tough one to go. But yeah, I'm at least selling Game 3, maybe 4.
What's the sporting event that you spent the most amount of money to attend?
Well, I got to go to Super Bowls and I had to pay for those, so that helps. It was probably Royals. I went to both ALCS clinchers in 14 and 15. And I went those as a fan with tickets I purchased. So those are probably it. Maybe some Chiefs tickets somewhere along the way, but I've never spent $1,000. Even I got Masters tickets for a practice round one year, but I bought those. I won the lottery for those, and so they were only $100 a piece. They were cheaper than a lot of regular sporting events I've been to. So probably just either a Chiefs game or Royals during that 14-15 run.
That is our guy, Cody Tapp, joining us on the show. If you want to participate in the Cody and Gold garage sale, this is what I need you to do. I want you to go to 965thefan.com. It's right there on the home screen. Click on it. Look through, bid 100% of the proceeds goes directly to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. So it doesn't matter if you get to go play golf with Rob or you get the picture of me, 100% of what you donate goes to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. It's one of the cool things that we do as a station. Cody, man, I'm proud of you, man. We'll catch up with you, man. Thanks a lot for your time today.
Appreciate it. Thanks, C-Dot.
Absolutely. That is Cody Tapp joining us on the show today. Salute to him. Salute to Alex. Salute to Drew. They are the participants in the Cody and Gold garage sale. Be sure to go to 965thefan.com and assist. Coming up on the other side, let's talk about the Knicks. Let's talk about Game 4. You know what? I don't want the officials to get in the way of this thing. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whoa, okay. This one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Huh. The T-Mobile one says their customers had the lowest wireless bills versus the other big guys over the past 5 years. And their latest experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. Oh, yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now, or...?
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. Switch now and keep your phone, and T-Mobile will pay it off up to $800.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges up to $800 with new account qualifying unlike device. Credit service ported 90-plus days with device and eligible carrier, and timely redemption required. Virtual MasterCard typically takes 15 days. No cash access and expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks, N.A., member FDIC. Visit T-Mobile.com.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit TremfyaRadio.com.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, don't miss your shot at an early win with 2 up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
This report is brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got the crash working near Shawnee 635 southbound past Shawnee Drive. You'll tap your brakes through there so far. Not so much of a backup. You will tap your brakes, but you are still moving. Other side of things, 70 eastbound just before Lee Summit. That stall is blocking part of the right lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
Rob, the Wu-Tang Clan, they are going to be the performers for tonight's NBA Finals game at halftime. Do you know any songs from the Wu-Tang Clan?
I should. I bet.
Yeah, I was just curious. I
bet if you named one, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know that one.
I was just curious if you could just like, of course, I love Cash Rules Everything Around Me. Cream Get the Money, Dollar Bill, y'all. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you think you can name someone in the Wu-Tang Clan?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I don't think I can.
Method Man, maybe heard of him before.
Method Man's okay.
He is. There's some other people. Ghostface, the RZA, ODB, Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace. Raekwon, you probably heard a couple of them before.
I know these names.
Yeah, no, I was curious to know. I was curious if you knew anybody in the Wu-Tang Clan. But yes, Game 3, Cardi B was the performer, and now the Wu-Tang Clan, they are going to be the performer for.
Are they are they all New York based? Is that the idea? Okay.
Yes.
'Cause I know Cardi B. I don't know. I don't believe she was originally, right?
No, she's from New York. Yeah,
because she was at the halftime show dancing on the stage with Bad Bunny when they had all the celebrities. So I was confused.
It's a lot of Puerto Rican influence.
Okay,
in New
there we
York.
go.
You know that, but yeah, no, she's from New York as well.
Who's singing for the Spurs? Can you name any San Antonio artists?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be a completely different atmosphere once they get to the Frost Bank Center on Saturday. Who do you have winning tonight? I think the Knicks win Game 4. I think they're going back to San Antonio 3-1. I will say this. Now, I don't know exactly what it is to be a Knicks fan, but I feel like the same way I say that all of us cheer for Mizzou in some way, everybody cheers for the Knicks in some form or fashion. If they go back to San Antonio and it's tied 2-2, it will be some nervous energy with the New York Knicks. They need to win this game, I think, for their fan base's sanity. If you thought it was bad leaving that stadium after they finally lost their first game in 6 weeks, imagine leaving that stadium as a Spurs fan and now it's tied 2-2 and the Knicks no longer have the advantage in the series. That is not a place I would want to be if I am not cheering for the home team.
I actually think the Spurs do win tonight. I think 2 reasons why I'm picking the Spurs tonight. One, I truly believe the Spurs have outplayed the Knicks in all 3 games. It was a very close game, too. If you want to say it's a coin
I don't know
flip,
if I can say that in game 1. I don't feel
were up
like
15 in the third quarter. They were up double digits in the third quarter. Yes, the Knicks made an incredible fourth quarter.
That matters.
And it's the NBA. Everyone makes a run. I get that. But let's not act like the Knicks just took care of business pillar to post in game 1. The Spurs gagged that away as much as the Knicks took it from them. A little bit of both. I think game 2's toss-up. I think the Knicks were very good in game 2, but even though all those things considered, Wemby threw the ball into Stephon Castle's back, so we don't know what would have happened on that series. And outside of one elite quarter in MSG, the Spurs kind of took care of business in game 3. So I think the Spurs are bouncing back, and it's going to be 2-2 headed back to the riverfront. That's my guess.
Have you seen the list of the bars that are going to be open until 5 a.m.? This just came across my timeline.
I have not.
Have you? You know what? This is why we're here. We're here to give this information.
I'm betting the Blue Line's on this list.
They're absolutely one of the teams or one of the bars that have signed up for this. Let's go through this list together. This is unprompted. Rob, you and I have not talked about this. I just saw this literally while you were just talking. So, you had to file for certain provisions in order to be able to basically take advantage of the 23-7 rule. Well, these are the bars that have signed up for it. Missy B's, Beckett's.
That makes sense.
The Quaff, the Blue Line, Tin Roof, the Levee, Up Down, El Pueblito, Thirsty Bull Saloon, Howl at the Moon, Frost KC, Gambles, Layla Lounge, Twin City Tavern, Buzzard Beach. They have to close by 5 o'clock. They also can reopen at 6 a.m. the following day. So if you were looking for a place to keep the party going all night long, at least on the Missouri side, these are all bars on the Missouri side, none of them on the Kansas side. On the Missouri side, that is the list. I'm not going to read it through again. Hopefully you heard the bar that maybe you attend. Being at Buzzard Beach at 4:05 in the morning does not sound like a place I need to be.
That sounds better than being at Up Down at 5 a.m. If you're playing Pac-Man and drinking at 4:59, come on now. Go home.
I could explain away Up Down more than I could explain away being at Buzzard Beach.
Actually, the one I think is the least explainable is Howl at the Moon. You're doing dueling pianos until 5 a.m.?
So I'm just, I didn't want this rule. The text line was real adamant on let these bars decide. These are the ones. Beckett's at 5 a.m. If you've been to Beckett's, that place is out of control when it's 10:30. What's it going to look like late?
The Drive. First to breaking news in Kansas City.
Well, we got the Kansas bars now? That's what you got. You got the Kansas bar update?
Per Adam Schefter, a record deal. The Chiefs are adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract, tying him to Kansas City through 2033, the value of which is at $504.75 million, is the first NFL deal valued at over $500 million. So a couple of years slapped onto the end of Mahomes give him to $504 million.
Does this matter anymore?
I would say no, but
I'm seeing the text line. Does this matter anymore? The only reason I bring this up, does this matter, is it's just more fully guaranteed money on a deal in which since Patrick Mahomes agreed to that first contract, back whenever that was, 2019, 2020, whenever he agreed to that deal, Patrick Mahomes signed away that he will be on the Chiefs for the duration of his prime, however long his prime is. If his prime is 35, he will be on the team. If his prime is 41, like Tom Brady, he will still be on the team. So now every contract after that just continues to do it. It's basically a lifetime deal like the one that Bill Self has. Bill Self does not technically have a lifetime deal. What he has is a 3-year deal, and then at the end of every season, it then rolls over and automatically becomes a new 3-year deal. That is basically the contract that they have with Patrick Mahomes, where, not to get super into the weeds about the money portion of it, but we know that they always have a mechanism where they can turn cash into cap and they can do this and they can move things around. So the money with Mahomes' deal is just fluid for the most part. But this is why, and I don't say this to be negative, like this is why I've always kind of pushed back on the notion that Mahomes is leaving money on the table. He is not leaving money on the table. He has just made his contract flexible where they can always pull money necessary when they need to. But you remember when there was a big deal like, oh, how is Mahomes the 12th highest paid quarterback in the league? This is the third restructure that he's had when it comes to his deal. This is the second time that they've outright renegotiated the deal. They just added $240 million in new money to it. The Chiefs have guaranteed $500 million to Patrick Mahomes. So if we're talking about leaving money on the table, they've guaranteed that playing football is going to make him $500 million. That's before he ever puts on a pair of Adidas. That's before he ever puts on Oakley's, before he ever gets any money from Coors Light. Patrick Mahomes will be a billionaire by the time he is 40 years old.
Reading Adam Schefter, the breakdown of it, beginning in 2027, so next year, he will average $64 million per year, which is the NFL record annually, and through mechanisms and other contract guarantees, basically the entire deal is guaranteed.
Yeah, that's just kind of always been the case. Yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it. I'm just saying this information just doesn't change anything. It's the same contract that it was before. They just keep adding terms on the end of the deal that will likely never, ever come up when it comes to Patrick Mahomes. Someone on the text line says this squashes any dumb rumors about him possibly being unhappy with the front office, not giving him winning teams. If you listen to anybody that was saying that about Patrick Mahomes, that's a you problem. You were stupid. They've been to what, 5 of the last 7 Super Bowls. There was never a time in which I thought Patrick was unhappy with the front office or not on the same page with the front office. So anybody that was peddling that nonsense to you, that's a you problem. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe. You fell for the okie doke when it came to Patrick Mahomes. We have never had any reason to believe that Patrick was not in complete lockstep with the front office from a contract business standpoint. I've never had any reason to believe that they are living otherwise.
Now, something I have not seen come across, I don't know if this creates more cap flexibility this season. I'm looking for that, but to my knowledge, everything I'm reading, nothing has changed with the Chiefs' salary cap other than there's new money coming to Mahomes starting next season, and he'll be on the team through his age 38 year if the Chiefs so choose to have him on the team.
Yeah, I guess this will be the thing. And again, I don't want any of this to sound like I'm down on Mahomes and him taking as much money as he possibly can. Like, football eats you up. Take as much money as you can. So someone sent this. What moves are coming? They don't make this move without having something coming down the line. Rob, you could probably find this audio. You remember when we had somebody on for Spot Track after the last time this happened, and he said this is basically just to give Mahomes more money? That the quarterback market is growing and Mahomes wants to keep his salary in line with what the other quarterbacks make. That is the only purpose of this deal. So I don't necessarily know. I'm happy to have on a salary cap person to really break this down. But I don't know if this move now signifies, oh, they're doing this so they can make a little bit of room to go get Cam Jordan. I think they have the best player in the league. I think they have the most marketable player in the league. They have the most important player in the league. And their number one priority for a decade has been, we will do whatever Pat thinks we need to do. So if Patrick Agent calls Veach and says, it's time for me to get a raise, I guess it's time for me to get a raise now. So maybe that's what the purpose of this deal is. That, again, I'm not mad if that's the course of this deal. But, I mean, they've just guaranteed $500 million. He won't even be 40. He might end up making like $600 or $700 million from the Chiefs by the time he's done playing football.
To your point, Adam Schefter just tweeting a bunch right now. Here's his exact latest tweet. The original 10-year, $450 million contract signed in 2020 was groundbreaking. But since then, the quarterback market has continued to skyrocket.
So they continue to give him more money to keep in line with the quarterback market.
Now, the Chiefs are once again adjusting that deal to bring him more money that is in line with the current quarterback market.
Yeah, for sure.
They gave him a raise. That's what he's earned it. I mean, he's a fantastic
100%.
This isn't some cap clearing. This is Patrick Mahomes got a raise today. It's just we all found out at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm trying to pull up exactly when this happened. Let me pull it up here because I know they did something like this. Like, it was like 2-3 years ago that they did something like this from a contract perspective. I'm just trying to find it in real time.
They played the Jags. I remember that because it was during the show. They just announced that Mahomes. It was during the show. We had already talked to Patrick that morning. So Whenever the Chiefs played the Jags a couple of years ago in Jacksonville, that's when this happened.
Yeah, so now I just found it. I just pulled it up. Basically, what it looks like is every 3 years, they just go back and they look over the deal. So now we're going through it. I just pulled it up here. They agreed to this contract. It was 10 years, $450 million. They agreed to this deal in 2020. 3 years later, they then restructured the deal again that then added another $43 million into the contract, which then upped the guarantee amount. So this was on September 18th of 2023. Now, 3 years later, they have done the exact same thing to give Patrick Mahomes a little bit more money. So, yeah, this is the contract is living. It's not a hard, concrete, no flexibility. As long as Mahomes and the Chiefs continue to be on the same page with the deal, this just isn't that big of a deal to me. This is, hey, we've got something incredibly valuable. Patrick and his agent are not going to let him be the 11th highest paid quarterback in the National Football League because we all know that's not the case. So because more quarterbacks continue to get thrown into the market and the market continues to change, we have an understanding that every 3 years we are going to resume this conversation and we're going to get Patrick's deal in line with what he should be making and in line with what the market says that he is. So this is just a recent example of this. Now, I'm sure there's going to be some short-term benefits. I'm guessing they wrote him a check today, a signing bonus here, and they continue to manipulate the cap. And maybe this means you clear up a little bit of space to go get Cam Jordan. Maybe this means you go clear up a little bit of space to go get Tyreek. But just from what we are reading and based on the pattern that I think this is nothing more than they just gave Patrick a raise, which obviously he has earned.
To that point, I feel like you're beating the news out with these very, I don't want to say very obvious opinions, but the kind of layup opinions.
This has just already happened before. You know what I mean? Like, this just isn't new. They've already done this before.
To that point, he is now going to jump to the highest paid annual player among quarterbacks and in league history. So they basically said in 3 years ago, we moved you back to number one. 3 years of life have happened. Trevor Lawrence got paid. All these other players got paid. Don't worry. We're going to pay you again. And it's basically all guaranteed through contract mechanisms like his roster bonus.
Yeah, I think the best way to maybe describe it in like a very simplistic way for the radio is this. Every NFL contract is designed at one point for the team to be able to get out of it. When we talk about these big 4 years, $130 million deals and 5 years, $160, if you really do the math and you really look at it, it is designed for in year 4 or year 5, the team can make a decision about what they want to do. And if you are not playing up to that standard anymore, they have gotten out of the guaranteed money and they can get rid of you. What this is, in a maybe like a real life sense, is they have just signed up for they are not cutting Patrick Mahomes, which obviously they would not cut him. But I mean, we've seen contracts end. Brett Favre's contract ended at one point in Green Bay. Tom Brady's contract ended at one point. Joe Montana's deal ended at some point. What they continue to do is they just continue to push back when the end is going to be. So the end's not going to be when he's 37 years old. The end is going to be when Pat's 39, 40 years old, and they're just going to guarantee the salary every single year. There's no player in the game that has this kind of contract. Like, we talk a lot about Deshaun Watson's deal being fully guaranteed. Patrick Mahomes also has a fully guaranteed contract. It is just not worded the same way that Deshaun Watson is. But trust me, that $504 million, he will collect every single dollar of it, and he should.
Yeah, I mean, calling it an accounting trick is like,
it absolutely is.
But that's what it is. It's here's more money.
Really quickly though, the only reason you can do that is because you have a player that you don't want to cut.
Yeah,
that's the only reason you can do this.
And his initial contract.
Every other player, at some point, you want the flexibility of, hey, you're not playing how you used to play, so we want out of this deal. They don't want to do this with him. They are signed up for Patrick Mahomes never playing in another uniform. They're the only team that committed to one specific player. That's not the way Josh Allen's deal is. I would want to give myself an opportunity to get out of the Josh Allen contract at some point, given his play style. I would want to get myself out of Lamar Jackson's contract at one point. That's not what the Chiefs are telling you. The Chiefs are telling you is, we want Patrick Mahomes for all of this. We don't ever want to move on from Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, you said it perfectly. It's a lifetime contract without calling it a lifetime contract. This will expire when he's 38 years old, and he will have made almost every dollar on the contract guaranteed. And at 38 years old, they can decide, do we want to keep doing this, or are we going to, make a decision because you're 38? But he's a Chief forever, and he gets money very handsomely paid, and the Chiefs can just, in 3 years, do this all over again. This is an accounting trick more than anything else.
Yeah, I guess this just isn't logic that honestly makes any sense to me. So, C-Dot, what you're saying is we waited until he was past his prime to essentially unload more money on him. That seems like a terrible move for our future. I get it. We won Super Bowls here, but other than that, it's already cooked. I get it. We won the Super Bowl, but other than that, what are you... The only reason you've won those Super Bowls is because of who the quarterback is. So, yes, there might come a time in which this is a bad deal for the Chiefs. I don't know when that could be. Maybe it's when 37, 38 years old, and then we got to have an uncomfortable conversation of, hey, Mahomes ain't the same like how he used to be. I mean, he all right, but, I mean, he's not what he's – maybe at 38 years old he turns into what Aaron Rodgers is,
But real quick, I know we're going to break.
You're good.
I apologize for interrupting. Do you know what the Chiefs at that point wouldn't be paying him the highest quarterback salary in the NFL? That $64 million looks gaudy today, but I promise he gets run past at some point in the league.
Yeah, then I'm guessing they renegotiate the deal again. I'm just saying is there is no amount of money you could tell me that the Chiefs paid Patrick Mahomes, and I think, I don't know if it's worth it. If there's any player in the league that has shown they're worth the amount of money that you are paying him, it's him. You owe him that money based on what he has done for your franchise. So, yeah, so if you were telling me that at some point in 2033, we look back at the Mahomes deal like, I don't know if this deal is best for Kansas City. Well, it was from 2017 up until this time. You got 16 years of contract piece with an NFL player. I would say that you came out ahead. So, yes, kind of like what you see in the NBA with some guys, Rob, right? Like, maybe in the end, you overpaid Draymond Green in these last couple of years. Well, look at all what you got from Draymond Green. That new venue that you just got, the Chase Center, you got that because of the accomplishments. The new stadium that they are about to move into, a major reason of why they are moving into that new stadium is because of the success that they've had with the quarterback of the team. There is no world in which you can overpay Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. Coming up at the top of the hour, Rob booked the soccer guest. He tells me that he is a very, very big deal. We'll talk to him coming up in 20 minutes. Keep right here, Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
The NBA season is winding down. Who do you think is going to be wearing the ring at the end of the season? Well, take your best shot with FanDuel, and you just might be celebrating a victory of your own this NBA Finals. Right now, new customers can hit the hardwood with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting just $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Individual player markets like baskets, rebounds, or you can build an epic same-game parlay for your chance to hit it big in the NBA Finals. And with FanDuel, you get paid out instantly when you win. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to join now and get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
Mia from the Winnings Desk. Every Missouri lottery ticket helps support Missouri public education. Over $8 billion and counting. I was going to list every school, but yeah, there's over 2,400 of them. See the full list at molottery.com/education. Play it forward and play responsibly.
Community Blood Center is teaming up with the Kansas City Royals for our annual Royals Weeks. Now through June 14th, help keep our blood supply strong ahead of these critical summer months. Join us to donate blood and receive 2 tickets to a select Royals home game this season. With a single donation, you could be the reason up to 3 people get out of the hospital and into the stands this summer. Schedule your donation today at savealifenow.org or call 877-468-6844.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no, we help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit TrulyHardSeltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got the crash working near Shawnee 635 southbound past Shawnee Drive. You'll tap your brakes through there so far. Not so much of a backup. You will tap your brakes, but you are still moving. Other side of things, 70 eastbound just before Lee Summit. That stall is blocking part of the right lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, so someone asked a question. Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, how much money of Mahomes has already been paid out? If you missed it, Rob, can you read the details, the particulars again for people that may have missed it? We'll be talking about this for a while. Mahomes added years on the end of the contract. He already had a pretty lengthy deal. They did this 3 years ago, back in 2023. They have re-up that basically keeps him in line with the quarterback market. We know every year more quarterbacks get paid. Mahomes gets pushed further down the list in terms of highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Every 3 years they do a Mahomes contract update. We just have the Mahomes contract update. I have the how much money they've paid him out so far. Can you give us all the particulars on the deal, please?
Okay, so the particulars on the new deal. The Chiefs are adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract, tying him to Kansas City through 2033.
So hold on really quickly. So based on what it was so far, so we can go back and forth here. Mm-hmm. He was in line to be on the Chiefs until 2031, and he was scheduled to make $497 million. Right now, he is at $232. So he's going to make $56 million this year, $52 in 2027, $27 in 2028. I'm guessing that's where they bumped the number up on those two. They were getting to the point where he was going to go from making $52 million to $27 million. We need to fix some of this. let's start to rearrange this and let's start to fix it out. I got more salary cap information, but Rob, go ahead and finish, please.
So yes, he'll be on the Chiefs through 2033, making it the first NFL deal valued at over $500 million at $504.75. Mechanisms, other things, make it nearly fully guaranteed. Plus, with bonuses and escalators, he can get to $522, making him the highest APY player in the NFL at $64 million starting in 2027.
So a lot of people are asking this question, which I do not have the exact answer to, and I'm happy to try to get somebody on to answer this. C-Dot, do you know if this frees up money for this season? As I'm looking more and more at his contract, I'm just going to say I doubt it. They've already done that this year, which was create the cap space. So in terms of base salary, Patrick Mahomes is only going to make $1.3 million this year. Now, I say only. I mean, that's relatively speaking. But his 17 game checks are only coming out of $1.3 million. So in terms of like what they're paying him and the cap, I don't really know if you can manipulate it a lot more than they've already manipulated. They've got his base about as low as you can potentially get it. Just to give you an idea, I mean, he is going to make less in salary this year per game average than he did back in 2022. Like, he's just not really making a whole lot of money on a per game basis. They usually, when they do those restructures, what they do is they just write you that money out right there. So he was supposed to make $30-something million throughout the course of the season. But in order to create that salary cap, in order to create that space, they just paid Mahomes out right then and there. You get that salary cap relief if you got the cash to be able to do it. And then you can go out and maneuver and make the moves. There's no more money to pull from this year with Patrick Mahomes' deal. So I don't know if this really clears a lot of space for you now. What this does do is give you the opportunity in a couple of years to keep doing what you've been doing and keep restructuring these deals and kicking the can down the road, so to speak. But I just don't know how you can kick the can down the road anymore when he's making $1.3 million this season.
I also think the terminology here from one of Adam Schefter's tweets is important. Starting in 2027, his APY jumps to $64 million, meaning that the Chiefs aren't adding any new money this year, probably because of what you just described. They've freed up all the cash they can possibly free up. The 3-year run is over. Now it's time to get a new 3-year run going, which starts in 2027, which I imagine at some point next year we'll get a news story that they have flexed some of his cash around, but they've already done that this year.
Well, they certainly are going to do it next year because, for example, I just told you, right now his base salary is $1.3 million. So it is the 17 game checks divided by $1.3 million. Next year, his base salary is $45.8 million. And his cap hit is $85 million. Something tells me that they are not going to let Patrick Mahomes use up 27% of their salary cap. So they are starting to create more of a runway so they can continue to move the money around and do the funny accounting and do everything that they need to do. So I don't think this is anything to worry about. This is basically what they've already been doing. They just extended the terms of the lease. They are already in the Patrick Mahomes business, fully guaranteed from 2026 until 2031. They have now just got themselves in it more in 2032 and 2023. And then obviously we'll see what they could potentially do from there. But they have just basically locked in that Patrick Mahomes will be on the team until he is 40 years old.
I'm reading now a tweet from our friend over at Spot Track who says this the second time the agency that represents Patrick Mahomes have turned his cap info, his cap number into more cash flow through guarantee mechanisms. Yeah. So yeah, the easiest, most layman's way to describe it.
It feels good when they say what I've been saying,
They gave him a raise that starts next year. That's what they did today. This news could come out in September. I don't think it changed anything for the cap right now. I think it changes Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I don't know. Does 450 versus 522 change his life? I don't know, but his life just got better.
I mean, I certainly want it. You know what I mean? I certainly want the money if they're giving it away.
I wish I knew the difference.
Want it.
I wish I knew if 450 hit different than 522 hit. I don't know. I'll know that difference.
I'm willing to try. You know what I mean? I'm willing to see what that life is potentially like. A lot of breaking news is coming out. The ratings have just come out. The ratings for the NBA Finals for Game 3, 28.3 million viewers. That was the average audience. It peaked at 26.3 million viewers, so a massive number. We knew that Game 3 was going to do a pretty crazy number. Do you think today's going to do better or worse? I'm guessing it's going to do worse than Game 3 just because there was so much anticipation, a Monday night. I'm going to assume the number's a little bit lower, but I also assume the number's going to be pretty big.
Yeah, worse but marginal. Negligible, would you say it was 28.3?
It was 23.8 million. It peaked
me.
at 26.3 million viewers.
You're probably going to see a number in the 20s, but not up to 23, 24. But I'll say this, if it goes 2-2, I think Game 5 will get back to this number.
I don't know if I disagree with that. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I disagree with that.
It'll be a weekend. You'll have a 2-2 series, and then New York will become full-on the villain because we know that if they lose tonight, you're going to see more nasty videos from New Yorkers. Like that, I think the weekend number is going to be bananas.
I mean, just to give you an idea of just how strong the NFL is, like, it's not like you needed me to tell you how strong the NFL is, but, like, just to give you an idea of this, like, this is obviously a lot of people, right? Like 23 million people. It peaked at 26 million. If you put that into, like, the large scale of it, this is equal to what regular season games do in the NFL. Like, I'm looking at it right now. This is equal to Bills and Steelers, the 325 window in week 13. Like, that just really goes to show you. I understand it's the NFL. Football is king. I'm signed up for all of that. That's where it goes to show you just how ridiculous our love of football is.
That's why I kind of hate these conversations about TV ratings because they're just what we perceive as good is just broken now because the NFL just does stupid numbers.
The NFL is just, it absolutely does. But I'm just saying is just in theory. I mean, that's an incredible number for the NBA. There's clearly the buzz and interest around the NFL. I mean, that's the 26 million people that ended up watching it. That makes it the 31st most watched thing in 2025, and everything above it was either the Macy's Day Parade or Game 7 of the World Series. That's everything else is a football game. We love football. There's really no other point to what I was saying other than we really love football. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, let's get you ready for the United States soccer team, Rob's favorite team. We'll do that next. Keep it right here, so drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. Back goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got a crash that is 435 westbound just past Warrenall. Center lane is blocked. And then you've got, crash Lee Summit 50 westbound at 3rd. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man, she's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
When shopping for a new auto insurance policy, AAA could help you customize your coverage to fit your unique needs and budget. Trust AAA Auto Insurance to help you find the balance that works for you. See how a simple switch could make a big difference. AAA, we're always with you. Visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Join 96.5 The Fan at the Peanut in the Northland on Friday, June 12th as C-Dot and Rob broadcast live starting at 2 with kickoff to follow at 8 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Taylor Twellman. He is with Apple TV. He is their lead MLS analyst, getting you ready for the World Cup in the United States. They are set to play on Friday against Paraguay. Taylor, happy to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So my producer who you just talked to, his favorite team is United States men's soccer. He was very excited to have you on the show today. Give him a little bit of hope. Give him some optimism about the United States and their chances to make a run in this World Cup.
The fact that there's a 48-team tournament, and so I say that because the United States, if they win their group, they'll end up playing one of the third-place teams in the first knockout stage game, and then, if according to the way I think the group stage will go, which is chalk, then they would avoid a top 8 FIFA-ranked team until the quarterfinal. And I think that's very doable. Now, in saying that, obviously a little wrinkle here or there means they could play someone in the round of 16. But the way this thing is lined up, for the host nations, if you win that group, you play a third-place team and you get to avoid some of the big dogs until the quarterfinals. I think that is where the United States really have to get after.
So, Taylor, let's talk about the roster. We now know what it's going to be for the United States. What are your thoughts? How do you like their roster? How does it compare to United States teams in the past?
This is the first tournament since 1990. We still don't know who our number one goalkeeper is. I think that's a little concerning. There's a lot of depth on the back line. I think it was a little safe when it came to that. 10 defenders, 7 of those can play center back in a 3-back system, and yet in saying that, I don't think there was any real big snubs. I think you could argue Diego Luna, you could argue Aid Morris or Tanner Tessman, but none of that as major regarding the attacking side of things. I think the biggest concern is if Tyler Adams goes down to an injury or yellow card accumulation, what does that change? That's why I think he's the most important player to this system and to the way the team wants to play. But when I look at the roster, they've got depth on the back line. They've got players that can play in wide areas. If you play 3 in the back, that's what we expect to see. And their key figureheads have to play well. The 4 most important players, Chris Richards, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Christian Pulisic. If those 4 play at a high level at the same time, then you're talking about a quarterfinal type of run.
Right now, we're talking to Taylor Twellman. He is with Apple TV. He is their lead MLS analyst, getting you ready for the World Cup. The United States, they play their first game in group stage coming up on Friday. Taylor, you mentioned the ceiling a little bit. What is the floor? Because it sounds to me, just listening to you, it sounds like the floor. It sounds like what would be disappointing if this team can't win their group. It sounds like a very winnable group for the United States.
It's a favorable group. Winnable makes the assumption to your listeners that they are heavy favorites, and I don't think I would say that. I think Turkey A becomes a very interesting game in the third knockout, the third group stage game. Excuse me. The floor is getting grouped, and the reality is this: is that we were the first country, the United States, to get grouped as a host of Copa America, and that was in 2022. So this group hasn't given me any real uber confidence that you're going to get Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. And that's the problem with this. They need their pinnacle moment. The players know that. They haven't had their signature moment as a group yet. And this is the golden generation of players that many of us have called. But the reality is this, is that for the last 3.5 years, we've been sitting here kind of wondering when that moment's going to be. We're going to find out. I think the floor is getting grouped. I think the ceiling's winning the group and going to the quarterfinal.
You mentioned this golden generation. Where do we currently stand? Because I say this as somebody who is a very casual soccer fan. I feel like there's been a lot of conversation about this group of American players, and more specifically about this group of American players heading into this World Cup. We're the home team, and there was an expectation to really show up and perform. How do you think this golden generation has developed? Do you think they're ready to take a step forward on the world stage?
I do. I think it's very unique for the United States to have a player going into their prime playing in their second World Cup. And we could make an argument you've got about 8 to 9 of those players. That's very unique for the United States. We've never really had that. And so they are absolutely primed to have their moment. They're primed to have that moment in their backyard where there's more eyeballs, more attention. But again, it's hard to really put into simplistic terms. If they win every game 1-0 by the skin of their teeth, but they go to the semifinals, sure, no one's going to care. But if they're not really in games and they're not really scoring goals, and there's not a ton of style, and they leave in the first knockout round game, then we're talking about the same World Cup that we've always talked about when it comes to the men. So there's got to be a lot of substance, but some style to that. And I think if you get that, I think you're going to captivate an audience that we've never really had before.
Last thing here, Taylor, we appreciate your time. Who is your pick to win this thing? Who do you think the favorite is heading into this? And for someone like me who isn't a big soccer fan, but I'm excited about the World Cup coming to Kansas City, I'm going to pay attention to this World Cup more than I ever have before. Give me a couple of fun teams and fun countries to watch that would be fun to follow.
I'm going to tell you right now, you have to watch Colombia. Maybe for what's off the field versus on the field. But Colombia knows how to throw a party. I followed them throughout the entire 2014 World Cup in Brazil. I called, I think if I'm not mistaken, 3 of the 5 games. Their fans deliver a great party. I think Senegal could really surprise some people. Their fans know how to really get into it. But when you talk about the fan aspect, Colombia's as good as it gets. Brazil, the South American teams just add a little bit of juice to that flame that gives you that excitement. Now, the reality is that there's going to be one team that you and I are not talking about that's going to surprise some people. It's not going to be University of Illinois Chicago that's going to go on this Cinderella run to the Final Four. That's not how – I mean, look at it. There's only 8 or 9 countries that have ever won the World Cup, and 2 of those were before there was ever 12 teams in a tournament. So you got to realize that the cream always rises to the top. But there will be a team that captivates the audience. Maybe it's in the group stage in Haiti and the story of them only playing away games because the gangs of Haiti ran the home field. Maybe it's that story, but there will be a team that captivates the audience as the little train that could.
That is Taylor Twellman joining us on the show. He is with Apple TV. He is their lead MLS analyst, getting you ready for the World Cup, which kicks off tomorrow. We will have our first World Cup action here in the United States. Taylor, great stuff, man. We'll catch up with you as the tournament progresses.
Thank you, my man.
Absolutely. That is Taylor Twellman joining us on the show. I have a theory about United States men's soccer. I think America has a very different relationship with the men's soccer team than they have with basically any of the other national teams. And I think it's for this reason. Maybe I said this before and I just can't remember it. But I think the relationship is very different for this reason. I would say in almost every other sport, we expect to win because we're America. Like, there is a sense of arrogance that you have going into these things. We're the American team. So, of course, we're going to win the 4x1. Of course, we're going to win the 4x2. Of course, we're going to have the most medals at the Summer Olympics. Of course, we're going to have the most medals at the Winter Olympics. Like, there is we are America. We are really good at sports, and we are going to show everybody that. I think America has the relationship that it has with the United States men's soccer because it is the only sport and only team that walks around and carries itself like an underdog, and people believe that about. No one believes really the underdog story with anything else. I wouldn't even say people really believe the underdog story in hockey. I mean, the biggest hockey league in the world is in the United States. Now, it's a big deal when they win. You know, they just played a couple of months ago in the Winter Olympics, and they won the championship, and Jack Hughes, and yes. But the relationship between the United States and the men's soccer team is just always different. Like the rest of us, not Rob, I know you're in the middle of it. We have been told about this golden generation for at least the last 10 years. You guys have been telling us that soccer is going to become the next best thing longer than they've been telling us that Dippin' Dots is going to be the ice cream of the future. You guys have had this particular World Cup circle for at least 12 years. I don't know who is in the United States group. I can only really tell you one player that's on the team, and that's because it's Rob's favorite player. I've only seen Rob wear one soccer jersey. That's the only guy on the team that I could name. Rob, I hope for your sake this works out the way that you want it to work out. I hope for America it works out because America comes together to watch this. Power and Light will be packed during those United States games, and people that do not watch soccer will be living and dying by everything that team does. And then they'll lose, and then we'll all go back to the sports that we really, really love and the sports that we really, really follow. I really think it's because it's the only sport in which we are really underdogs, in which people can feel like you can rally around being the little guy and surprising everybody. Nobody expects a whole lot out of the United States, trust me. In sports talk radio in other countries, they are not looking at the United States as a possible sleeper in this tournament. They ain't checking for them. They are not worried about the United States making no deep run in this tournament. So if the United States actually did it, people would be very excited about it. We were just talking about the ratings in the NBA Finals. If the United States made a very serious run in the World Cup, it would rival playoff football games and high-level sporting events if they could actually do it.
I think the numbers are going to be huge, kind of regardless, just because of the timeline of when these games are. But I agree with you. They are the only team that galvanizes a underdog mentality at the national level. Because, be honest, you love basketball team, I do too. If they had lost to France, it would have been a massive disappointment, despite the fact they made the gold medal match. That's just not how we view soccer in America.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in some ways, like the United States men's basketball team just has the more pressure on them than anybody. I would say maybe other than like gymnastics, always kind of has a lot of pressure going into it. Like
swimming, maybe.
Like, you can't even consider coming in second in basketball. Wait, hold on. Like y'all can't win us that gold medal in the one thing. Yeah, the pressure that the United States men's basketball team has is unlike the pressure for any other national team. Man, the soccer team, y'all just get to just go off vibes. You know what I mean? Just get to go off vibes. Nobody really knows who's on the team. They're just America. We'll support them for these 4 games that they have in the group stage, and then we'll see how far they can maybe go.
There's 3 games.
Didn't they not make the World Cup a couple? It wasn't that long ago. They didn't even qualify for it.
Yeah, 2018.
How do you not qualify?
It was literally one of
they got going on?
Literally one of the largest failures in American sports history.
I mean, goodness gracious. Someone said the United States could win it all, and I still wouldn't be interested. I can't get interested in soccer. I've tried. If the United States was in the World Cup final, it would be close to the Super Bowl in terms of a rating.
I think it might outdo the Super Bowl. It would be close.
Maybe. I don't know if it would get that high, but it would get very, very high.
I think it would.
It'd be like 70 or 80 million, which isn't the Super Bowl, but I mean, that's
as competitive as you're going to get.
It's like twice as many people that watch the AFC Championship game. Like, yeah, if the United States made it to the men's World Cup final, yeah, the number would be insane. The watch parties you would see thrown around the country would be unlike anything we've ever seen before. Someone says, C-Dot, it feels like you are discounting U.S. women's soccer. That's a different conversation to me than the men's team. I think the women's soccer kind of gets roped in everybody else. There's like expectation that we're just going to be better than everybody when it comes to the women's soccer. That is not the expectation when it comes to men's soccer. Someone said, CDOT, there's literally no pressure on the United States men's basketball team. They are way better than any other team they compete with. There's no pressure at all. You are not paying attention. And if you think that, they are not that much better than everybody else, certainly not anymore. And there is a lot of pressure. So much pressure, so they started making guys sign up to do it. You remember they got that silver medal when they lost to Argentina. When they lost to Argentina, and then it was, hey, Kobe, you need to do this. LeBron, you need to do this. Yeah, no. The expectation now with the men's basketball team is the best basketball players in the world will sign up to do it. It is not optional the way that it felt there for a couple of years. You need to, Anthony Edwards, you need to do it. Especially if France is going to have that 7'4" guy competing in this one, and it's in the United States because the Summer Olympics the next time in 2028 is in Los Angeles. Yeah, the United States, you need to do it. You need to absolutely participate in the Olympics. Text line 913-586-7965. Talking a little bit of soccer here. You know what, Rob? You're going to love this summer. You know what? We're going to sprinkle in a little soccer talk for you. I mean, not too much. I don't know too much about it, but I don't mind sprinkling a little soccer talk in there. We got the World Cup going on tomorrow. Who plays tomorrow? I know there's games tomorrow.
Mexico. There's only one game tomorrow. Mexico and South Africa.
That's it. We only got one game tomorrow.
That is the opening game down at Estadio Azteca.
Okay. All right. I didn't know.
And then we got 2 on Friday. Canada plays Bosnia.
I didn't know that Canada plays, and then the United States plays on Friday.
Yeah, and then Saturday, Sunday is when you get the 4 TV windows, and it's just all out 4 or 5 games a day.
Yeah, well. Friday, we're going to be at the Peanut, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to be hanging out at the Peanut.
We're
watching
Northland,
the game. Yeah, pull up at the Peanut.
We'll be there from 2 to 6, and then I've been confirmed that Gold and Drew are going to come up for the watch party.
Okay, all right. I'm happy to see Gold out with the people. You know, it's hard to get him out for the people.
He'll probably have a limo that brings him up
for sure.
He'll put it on Instagram. Don't worry, he'll put it on Instagram.
One thing I know is Gold had the best seat in the house. Gold had the best seat in the house. If there's anything I can confirm, at least when it comes to that. All right, listen to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. Let's get back to talking about Texas Tech. A fight is brewing. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive.
My man Carrington Harrison.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? Well, take your shot with FanDuel, and you might be celebrating a victory of your very own. Right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Seek out individual player markets for baskets and rebounds, or build an epic same-game parlay for your chance at a bigger payout. And with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 consecutive days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com. You know how avoiding eye contact with people when your brakes screech makes it less awkward? It doesn't. But you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Taking a look at the futures market to win the big international soccer tournament starting on Thursday. Spain is the favorite at plus 450, followed by France at plus 500. England plus 700, Portugal plus 800, Brazil and reigning champion Argentina at plus 900. And I like France to win this event. I like France at plus 500. An absolute embarrassment of riches on the French team. And I think we get a 1998 rematch in the final. France beats Brazil for its 3rd title since 1998. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great, because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, member FDIC.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client betrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Downtown, that's a stall 670 eastbound as you approach 71. It is the left lane that's blocked. Okay, 435 southbound just past 70. That's stalled trying to make it off to the right lane, blocking right shoulder blocking part of the right lane there. And then continue on, you've got 70 eastbound just before Lee Summit. That's stall blocking part of the right lane there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Someone just texted in, I'm sorry, C-Dot, that I just got in the car, but can we talk about Mahomes' contract extension and the salary cap implications? You know what? Even though we were going to talk about something else, sure. You know, Burton Sorsby's still going to be eligible, and Texas Tech is still going to fight it, so yeah, why not?
He probably had money on Calci on him getting an extension today, too.
100%. He's a polymarket prince. That's what we're going to start calling him.
You're telling me a Texas Tech player got extended today? I guarantee Sorsby had cash on it.
Yeah. All right, so I understand the question, right? I understand the question. I don't think that this is that big of a deal, and I will tell you why I think that. He was already fully under contract from now until 2031. So we had a lot of time on Patrick Mahomes' deal. What they have done is now they have guaranteed 32 and 33. So Patrick Mahomes is going to be on the team from now, 2026, until 2033. That will put him at 39 years old, if my math is correct. I think what is important to note, now, I don't know if this is a handshake agreement, an unspoken agreement, but it seems to me like every 3 years, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes have a conversation about financially what they're going to do. So on July 6th of 2020, the Chiefs gave Patrick Mahomes a 10-year, $450 million contract extension. In September of 2023, they restructured that deal to add another $43 million into the deal. It did not increase the length of the contract. They just added $43 million into the contract. So it'd be like if you make $100,000 right now, your job is just like, you know what? Why don't we just give you an extra 40 grand? We're not, hey, your contract expires when it was going to expire, but you have been such an incredible employee. We are just going to give you another guaranteed amount of money. So that is what they did. That was in September of 2023. Fast forward now to 2026. He just signed an extension that will guarantee him $504 million, which again puts him on the team between now and 2023. A lot of people are asking this question, and I certainly understand the question, and I think it is a very good question. Hey, what does that mean for the salary cap right now? Does this create any cap space? There really isn't any room left in the Patrick Mahomes deal in 2026 to create a lot of cap space. They've already made that move. Earlier in the year, in February of this year, they converted $44 million plus another $10 million into a signing bonus, which cleared $43 million for them. I know it's a lot of numbers, but follow me. He was going to make $44 million for his game checks, $44 million divided by 17. He also had a $10 million bonus for him simply being on the team. Not playing, just you are on the Chiefs, here's an extra $10 million. The Chiefs paid all that money out right then and there. That's what the signing bonus is. So we are going to convert your game checks. We are going to convert that into salary for you right now and hand it over to you. They now got his base salary, which was going to be somewhere around $45 million. They now have it down to about $1.3 million. There's no more money that you can take away from Patrick Mahomes' base salary for this year because you've already done this. So I don't think that this is a cap clearing space move for today. I think this is a cap clearing space move for the future and what that looks like. Because next year, you were going to have the exact same problem that you have now. Hey, Pat's scheduled to make $46 million. We need some cap space, so let's move some money around. So whenever we hear the term restructure on these deals, I think people think it's like taking a pay cut. No, it's just moving money around. Think about it like a fiscal year. So let's keep using $100,000 a year as an example. Let's say that your job's fiscal year starts in October. It would be like if they just gave you a lot of money in September, and then for the next following year, instead of them saying that you make $100,000 a year, now you make $30,000 a year because they just paid you out the rest of the money in September so it doesn't go on the books in October. That is essentially what the Chiefs keep doing with Patrick Mahomes' contract. Eventually, we will have to have a serious conversation about Mahomes' contract. At some point, it will become prohibitive the way that they have done this. But if you are a team that is trying to win the Super Bowl every year, and you are very happy with your quarterback, and your quarterback continues to agree, absolutely you'll sign up for ages 31 until 39 years old, so you never have to have this conversation again. He doesn't become an unrestricted free agent until 2034. Something tells me that they will reach another agreement between now and then to ensure that he is still on the team. This contract, all it does is continue what we already know is, as long as Patrick Mahomes is a good football player, he will be the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. He doesn't have to be the best quarterback in the league, but as long as he is a good, capable quarterback, so let's say at 38 years old, he's Baker Mayfield, for example, who's clearly not the best quarterback, but certainly a good quarterback, they will continue to have him on the roster. All they have done is just continue to extend the numbers and the years on the lease on the back end of the deal. But this doesn't really change a whole lot on the front end of the contract.
It changes, it changes his paychecks, but it changes the money very little. It did change my opinion on this, and maybe you have already felt this way, and I was just alone in this. I think today guaranteed that he's only wearing one jersey for the rest of his NFL career.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet, because he's talked about wanting to play until his 40s, right? He said that multiple times. This only locks you in until he's 38 years old. I don't know what the back half of his career looks like. Eventually, almost every franchise says no to their superstar quarterback. Now, we don't got to go down that far down the rabbit hole, but eventually, Joe Montana went to go play for another football team. Eventually, Brett Favre went to go play for another football team. Aaron Rodgers went to go play for another football team. Tom Brady had to go play. So I don't want to now say, well, this guarantees he's on the team. I don't know if this guarantees that he's on the team, but what I do know is as long as he's still that guy, they are 100% committed to him being on the team in a way that no football player has ever had that level of loyalty from an NFL team. These contracts are designed for them to eventually cut you. Think about it. Whenever somebody signs a deal, we instantly say, how much guaranteed money, when can they get out of the deal? When can they get out of the contract?
There ain't no getting out of this one.
For sure. There's no getting out of it. So the text line right now says, Mahomes isn't playing until he's 40. I don't think he's going to play until he's 40. I mean, this deal right now has him locked in until he's 39 years old. We think he's leaving this money on the table?
Which is why I think he's a one-jersey guy. Because I think in 3 years, in 2029, they'll slap 2 more years on the back of it, and that gets him to 41.
For sure.
The better way to look at this contract, at least how I look at it, is it's a rolling 3-year deal, and then it's renegotiate and sometimes add years on the back end. They've done that twice now. A 10-year contract's going to end up being more like a 16-year contract. So I think in 2-3 years, they'll slap another few on the back, and then they'll make a decision when he's 40, 41. I think Mahomes got to retire before the Chiefs cut him loose. That's how this contract is structured and how it's designed to be handled.
Yeah, so, obviously don't know how long Patrick Mahomes is going to play, but and maybe this is like thinking how the NBA works. Right now the Chiefs are committed to paying Patrick Mahomes $504 million over the next 8 years. And that will line up to him being 39 years old. I'm getting all my $504 million. I don't know about y'all. I'm getting my $504 million that my company owes me. So the conversation about Mahomes and when he's going to retire, we don't got to have that conversation for a very, very long time about when he's going to do that. They just guaranteed him $500 million that they plan on paying out between now and 2033. Again, they are more committed to Patrick Mahomes than any NFL team has ever been committed to one individual player. They continue to lock themselves into Patrick Mahomes, which is obviously the right thing to do. It's the right thing in terms of who he is as a player. It's the right thing for the brand. It's the right thing for the city. Mahomes, it is impossible for him to be overpaid, in my opinion. Not in his 20s, not in his 30s. When he gets to 40 years old, we can have a conversation about, are you paying your 40-year-old quarterback too much? But for the 30-year-old version of Patrick Mahomes, there is not an amount of money that they could be paying him where I come on here and say, I don't know about that. In fact, he's probably underpaid because of the NFL salary cap.
It's funny to think that because I actually had that thought earlier. He's making $64 a year start next year. What if there wasn't a cap? What does that number look like? Because 64 is a lifetime of, you're good forever for some people. He's going to make that just in 2027. I always be curious what an uncapped quarterback contract is for Patrick Mahomes.
Text line 913-586-7965. See that there's a 0% chance Mahomes ever plays anywhere. The Chiefs aren't that franchise and Patrick isn't that guy. I just would never say never. Again, I don't want to doom and gloom this. I don't think there's any reason to do that. There's far more examples in NFL history of guys at the end of their career going to play for another team than guys that only stay with one team. So some of this is just me playing the percentages. Jerry Rice eventually went to go play for another team. Joe Montana went to go play for another team. So again, I don't know. I'm just saying the odds are at one point, franchise and player have a disagreement about how much the player has left. That has just happened far too many times in NFL history for me to say there's a 0% chance that ever happens. It is obviously a chance that it happens, and we just got to see if that ends up being the case. Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, let's play the what if game. Between now and the end of this contract, how many Super Bowl rings do we need to win for you to be okay with them letting Pat play and be on the team for as long as he wants? I don't think he ever have to win another one.
I say 0.
Like, yeah, I don't think they ever need to win one. They already have 3. They've been to 5. Now, I mean, if they don't go to a Super Bowl in his 30s, you will be disappointed just given how incredible his 20s are. Like I've said, I don't think there is a football player who was more accomplished between the time they came into the league until they turned 30 years old than Patrick Mahomes. If you look at everything that he did on a football field, maybe you could argue Jim Brown, but we're talking about a very different National Football League. I don't know if you could find me a player who was more impactful in their 20s than Patrick Mahomes is. So if he gets to his 30s and never wins a championship, sure, that'd be a different conversation to have. But there's no way I think you can look at him like, man, I don't know about that. Like, he is your franchise. So if you were saying kind of like what happened with Eli, remember when the Giants wanted to move on from Eli at the end? And the Giants fans were like, no, you're not moving on from Eli. That's our quarterback. So we understand that maybe he's not as good as he used to be. We also understand that maybe this other guy gives us a better chance. We do not care. Eli Manning is our starting quarterback until he decides that he no longer wants to be our starting quarterback. I kind of think that Patrick Mahomes got the same conversation in Kansas City that Eli Manning had.
This also locks Patrick Mahomes into play games in the new stadium.
Yeah, I was never worried about that.
I was never worried about that either, but it's locked in. Like, I mean, he's on the team until 2033. They're playing there in 2031. So he's not just playing the inaugural season there. He might be playing in the Super Bowl when it's there. We don't know.
Yeah. So C-Dot, you're saying no more rings. You wouldn't be calling for him to retire by age 44 and let us move on to the next man. Patrick Mahomes is 31 years old. I just don't really have that much interest in playing the what if game when he's 44 years old. I mean, we're talking about now Sterling's graduating high school. I just feel like we can have conversations about the here and now, about what's going to happen with the team. I don't even know if he's going to play week 1 of the NFL season. Now we got him not winning a Super Bowl and Sterling's at Texas Tech. What are we doing here today? I don't know what's happening with this conversation with Patrick Mahomes. I don't know the answer to the question. What I do know, he's on the team right now, and he is on the team from now until probably until they host the Super Bowl. Like, that's probably what this locks you in. He is on the team from now until when they host the Super Bowl. I'm guessing they'll host it by 2033. That seems like a realistic expectation, right?
Maybe a hair longer, 2034, 2035.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Tennessee was pretty fast-tracked, but Tennessee also is, it's Tennessee. Let's be honest, Nashville's a bigger destination than Kansas City. But, yeah, that's probably around the timeline.
Yeah. So, this is I'm not going to say it's a nothing move because it obviously is something like they've given. But to me, I see this conversation about Mahomes' deal. This conversation to me is a lot more about what they did in terms of cap flexibility for 27, 28, 29, and 30 for the rest of the decade, more so than what it means for the here and now individually and creating any amount of cap space. As I said to kind of kick off this segment, there really isn't any more room they can create for Patrick Mahomes this year. They've already done that before. They've already given him the restructure. I mean, his base salary is $1.3 million this year. How much less money can he make for this individual season? They've already paid out all the rest of that money. So I don't know if this is a here and now move for Kansas City. I think this is just constant accounting that just always gives them the flexibility in the future in order to create the cap space at the beginning for you to go get Kenneth Walker. That was the move that they got with the Mahomes restructure. You don't go get Kenneth Walker if they don't have that restructure at the very beginning of free agency.
Also, and our friend Mike Jenny at Spot Track just tweeted this out. He'll be on the show on Friday. We have a day game tomorrow, but he'll be on the show Friday. Mike Jenny will be. He was sifting through the contract. He says 4 years are guaranteed at signing for Mahomes. So that's putting cash in Mahomes' pocket that creates flexibility in 2027 for the cap, right? That would be that'd be the way to read that.
Yeah, I guess maybe more so than anything about Mahomes, and I don't want this to come off like a negative. I think we have kind of from the beginning sort of oversold the gesture that Mahomes is making via salary to the organization. He is being very well compensated for being the quarterback of the team. he's not really left a whole lot of money on the table. And I'm not saying that he should leave money on the table. What I think makes his conversation and his contract so unique compared to everybody else, the fact that he wants to be here, they want him here, and they do not have neither side seems interested in creating a exit strategy for them, gives them both flexibility that no other player in the league has. Everybody else's contract at one point allows you the opportunity to get out of it if you want to. Even Josh Allen, who is maybe the best quarterback that the Bills have ever had, if you're talking from a talent perspective. Obviously, Jim Kelly had more success than Josh Allen has. There is a date in which the Bills can get out of Josh Allen's contract. They can get out of it in 3 years. Now, maybe they do what the Chiefs just did. They restructure the deal. They do this. They do that. They move some money around. Yeah, maybe they can do it. But there is a clear date when the Bills will have to make a decision about Josh Allen. The Chiefs will not have to make a decision about Patrick Mahomes now until 2033. He will become a free agent. Now, if they're continued on the same page and he's 35 years old and they won 2 more championships, something tells me they'll continue to add years on at the end of the deal and they'll just never have to have that conversation. But every NFL contract that we talk about is designated for at some point the team can get out of it. They can just get out of it. Hey, we're done. Kind of like the conversation we're going to have about Chris Jones. I know Chris Jones got all this money. The Chiefs at the end of the season can tell Chris Jones, we don't want you on our team anymore. So I know we were scheduled to pay you $40 million. We're not paying you that $40 million. We bid you fairly well, and we'll give you a nice social media post on the way out. The Patrick Mahomes contract is not designed to do that. It is not designed for him to get out of the deal. It is not designed for them to get out of the deal. They are in lockstep when it comes to the financials and the money part of it. That's why it's structured the way that it's structured. So if you guys missed it, Patrick Mahomes has signed basically a 2-year extension on the back half of the deal. So he now locks in himself for 32 and 33. So he is under contract between now and the end of the 2033 season. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
About our friends over at Gates Barbecue. Father's Day is right around the corner. Summer is here, and what better place to celebrate than with some of the best barbecue in the world? You know, we got a lot of visitors coming into town. I know you want to show them around. You want to show them some of your favorite barbecue places. Well, I know where I'm taking people. I'm taking people to Gates Barbecue. Get yourself that small party tray. Get yourself the large party tray. Get yourself the President platter. It's also right around the corner from the stadium. So if you're leaving one of the games, if you're celebrating soccer in Kansas City, what better way to do that than with our friends over at Gates Barbecue? So you guys know I've been trying to cook a little bit more. I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier. I was actually at the grocery store a couple days ago. I picked up some of that Gates seasoning to use on my breakfast. Oh my goodness, it's been fantastic. I highly encourage you to use it. You can use it like I do on your breakfast. If you're going to grill, you can use the seasoning as well. Get some of the sauce as well. Make sure that you incorporate Gates into whatever your summer barbecue plans are. It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you go stop by any one of the Area 5 locations with our friends over at Gates Barbecue.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Brought to you by Buckner's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, BucknersHC.com. Everybody knows Buckner's is better. We've got the crash that is downtown, and I do see a lot of red, so there is backup. 71 northbound, just past 22nd. Right lane is blocked. We've got, let's see, okay, that's a crash. 49, it looks like, okay, southbound before Main. 49 southbound before Main, right lane blocked. Some all-liquor delay northbound side. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
One thing I want to say about the Mahomes contract that I think is really, really important is, you know, sometimes it just feels good to not have to worry about something. Like, you know, we love a good car analogy. For those of you that don't have a car payment, you know how it just feels good to know that every month that's just not something that you need to worry about? I mean, you got other things that you got to pay for, right? You got your phone, you got your mortgage, your rent, whatever it is. But it just feels good that this one item on your monthly budget, that you can put that money back into your pocket and do something else with it. I think the real value of Mahomes' deal is, A, there's so much quarterback uncertainty in the National Football League. You are not in that group. And I would say, B, it's just the peace of mind of it all. There's going to be a lot of quarterback conversations that happen around the National Football League. None of those conversations need to happen in Kansas City. He was locked in for his entire 20s. They have now locked in for the entire 30s of it. And eventually, whatever system they have, eventually you will have to answer for the system. But the hope is that the Chiefs have won 5 Super Bowls. They've been to 8 of them over that time frame. And yeah, maybe 2036, you kind of got to dig yourself out of some of the salary cap issues that you created when you kept restructuring Mahomes' deal and moving some of it down the line and moving money around. That's something you would obviously live with, though, if you were Kansas City, and almost every organization in the National Football League would take. So, Rob, I think the biggest thing more than anything, and that's what I've really tried to emphasize in our conversation today, is I don't think this is about right now. Like, I understand the question. Well, they just did a deal. What does that mean for the salary cap? I mean, they've already done the restructure. I don't think this really means anything for the salary cap for this individual season. But what it continues to give you is peace of mind with the most important thing that you can have, peace of mind. It gives you peace of mind. So if at the end of this season, Andy Reid says, you know what, I've had a fantastic run, but I'm done being the head coach of Kansas City, you now have the most desirable opening maybe in the history of the National Football League. If Andy Reid says in 2 years, I'm stepping away and I'm now going to go work for ESPN, or I'm just going to spend the rest of my time with my wife and the rest of the time I have on this earth with my family, you got a 33-year-old Patrick Mahomes who is under contract for the next 6 years, and now you can go out there and you should be able to talk to any football coach in the world if you want to. Not just promote whoever your offensive coordinator is. Any football coach in the world should be interested in that job. You got the best quarterback in the league. You got a superstar Hall of Fame quarterback who's still relatively in his prime. So yeah, that's what this deal continues to signify to me, is just it is the peace of mind that you have the most difficult thing in the league and maybe in sports already figured out.
It's also a reward for Patrick Mahomes. Hey, we don't like that Trevor Lawrence is making more money than you. We think you're better even on one leg than Trevor Lawrence. We don't like that insert quarterback X making more money than you. We don't like that. We know you don't like it. NFL players care about those things. So you went from the 12th highest paid quarterback, blink of an eye first. Don't worry. Whenever you're ready, we will make you first. So it's a, peace of mind for Patrick Mahomes and for the Chiefs, but it's also a reward. Hey, you're not actually going to be the 14th highest paid. We're going to make sure you're always fairly compensated. Also, in my, goal to always just tell you that you're correct, someone tweeted at our friend Mike Giannetti at Spot Track, does this free cap up for this upcoming season? He responds saying, the Chiefs already processed a full conversion of his salary, so I imagine their 2026 season remains unchanged from a cap perspective. So we will have Mike Giannetti on the show, but he is tweeting at people saying that he doesn't believe there'll be much change to the upcoming 2026 cap from this move.
Rob, doesn't it just feel good that we understand the cap enough that Mike Giannetti is just telling people what we're telling people?
We should just text him the segment, and he can just post it.
I could run Spot Track. That's really what we learned.
At least for the NFL. Boy, NBA would be a problem. Luxury tax would get me.
Nobody understands the NBA salary cap. But yeah, if you got an NFL salary cap question, come to me. I'll explain it to you. I understand it. I follow it. I know what's going on with the NFL salary cap. That's why I'm here to answer your questions when it comes to the salary cap. 8 years, $504 million. $504 million, bro. That's how much he's going to make over the next 8 years.
By the way, it can escalate up to 522, so don't shortchange him like that again. 522.
Not bad. But the last time that he had these contract restructures, he really only got contract incentives for 3 things. Did you win MVP? Did the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl? Did you win the Super Bowl? He didn't get a contract incentive for anything else. Like, he doesn't get one for if he throws for 5,000 yards or 40 touchdown passes. If I remember correctly, the last Mahomes deal, I remember, it only had a contract incentive for 3 things. Super Bowl appearances, wins, and did you win MVP? Which, I kind of like it. Makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not here to play around with possible money. No, I want the guaranteed money, and then if I do what I'm supposed to do, throw a little money on the end, which obviously the Chiefs are happy to pay.
We don't talk about this nearly enough. Do you know how crazy it is that NFL players' contract incentives are basically just MVP or Super Bowl? Like, I don't know Travis Kelce's, but if he makes a Pro Bowl, I bet he gets a raise. If he's first-team All-American or does X amount of yards, he gets a raise. Mahomes basically like, hey, either be the best in the league or the best team in the league. Other than that, just take your 502 and live.
I will say this. I know we didn't get a whole lot of time to talk about this today because of the Mahomes news that we weren't really expecting, but one of the cool things about the World Cup that I did not foresee happening is people from other countries coming over and they are finding out our American customs and that they are actually kind of cool. Now, I know some of you love America through and through. Some people of you have your frustrations with America. I don't really care what side you're on. But I will say, when somebody else comes over here and then they see how it is, it has made me kind of think, well, you know what? You're right, man. America is kind of fun. There was somebody from Germany who was live tweeting yesterday their experience in going to Waffle House for the first time. Now, I get it. You've been to Waffle House a million times, but just imagine if you are not from here and you just eat Waffle House for the first time and you go in there and see the decor. That's a real American place. There was a person who, I think they're from Argentina. They were tweeting that they had never seen a flyover at a sporting event before. You've seen hundreds of flyovers. They do flyovers for random baseball games. Imagine if you had been to a sporting event, had no clue that a flyover was going to happen, and the next thing you know, you look up and there are these planes that are flying over the stadium. You would be kind of blown away by it. There was one person from Germany, they went to Buc-ee's and were like, how does this place exist? I've never seen a gas station like this before. I honestly, the social media thing, seeing all these other countries come over here and see American culture, it has made me kind of think, I don't know, man. We actually got it kind of good. It's actually kind of good over here. If you are not from America and you came over to America for a couple of weeks, you would think it's pretty incredible. Just do what you want. Don't bother people. In some places, you can just walk right into the smoke shop. You ain't got to do it in hiding. That ain't going to bother you. Walk right into the dispensary, get your sticky, icky, smoke it, go outside. Nobody's going to bother you. There's a lot of positives about living in America. Whole lot of positives. All right, coming up on the other side, let's reset everything. Patrick Mahomes got a contract extension. He is going to make $500 million over the next 8 years. We also got Game 3 of the NBA Finals, and the World Cup starts tomorrow. It is busy time in sports. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Buckner's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, BucknersHC.com. Everybody knows Buckner's is better. We've got the crash that is downtown, and I do see a lot of red, so there is backup. 71 northbound, just past 22nd. Right lane is blocked. We've got, let's see, okay, that's a crash. 49, it looks like, okay, southbound before Main. 49 southbound before Main, right lane blocked. Some all-liquor delay northbound side. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wager.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit trulyhardseltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
If you're still using Sportsbook to bet on the finals, you're getting robbed. It's time to delete that app and join millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for those greedy sportsbooks. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for basketball's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download Polymarket in the App Store. Use promo code FREE50 to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FREE50. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Taking a look at the futures market to win the big international soccer tournament starting on Thursday. Spain is the favorite at plus 450, followed by France at plus 500, England plus 700, Portugal plus 800, Brazil and reigning champion Argentina at plus 900. And I like France to win this event. I like France at plus 500. An absolute embarrassment of riches on the French team. And I think we get a 1998 rematch in the final. France beats Brazil for its third title since 1998. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
I'm somewhere on a beach. Get lost with Dierks Bentley. Off the Map Tour. Dierks Bentley Live. I'm drunk on a plane. Drinks for everybody. Playing Martin Amphitheater this Saturday night with Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder and Owen Reakley. Dierks Bentley. What was I thinking? Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Dierks Bentley live this Saturday night at Morton Amphitheater.
Tonight, expect possible showers and thunderstorms with a low of 73.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in the Northland on June 12th with The Drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 8. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
We actually have a lot to update you guys on. We don't have a whole lot of time, so let's just get right into it. So the ratings are out for the NBA Finals. It was a massive win for ABC. 23.8 million people on average watched the game on Monday night. It peaked at around 26 million people. It is up massive from last year with the Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. It is also the largest NBA Finals Game 3 audience since Utah and Chicago back in 1998. So it was a very, very watched basketball game. Rob, keeping it with the ratings, the numbers are up for the United States game this week against Germany. You know, they played a scrimmage. A friendly, you guys can't ever call things what everybody else calls things in soccer. It's not a scrimmage. It's not a preseason game. It's a friendly. 1.5 million people watched the friendly between the United States and Germany.
It's not bad. Because it was TBS and it was buried up against other stuff.
Yeah, it peaked at 1.9 million people. So salute to the United States. They get going here coming up in a couple of days. They are going to be playing Paraguay. You can come out to the Peanut in the North Lane and watch that game with us. I will be there. Rob will be there. I believe the midday show will also be there. I don't know if the morning show will be there or not. I haven't seen Bob actually in a very, very long time. Our schedules just don't really line up that much, but I hope that they're there, and I'm sure it'll be a fun time if they are there. All right, there's a lot to get into. You know what? Why don't we make hit number one this Kansas City rule thing, and then we'll talk a lot about Patrick Mahomes, and then we'll get you ready for the game coming up later tonight between the Knicks and the Spurs. We'll do all that here in the 5 o'clock hour. Hit it, Rob.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number one.
So you guys remember that Missouri allowed certain bars in certain areas and districts to be open super late for the World Cup? So these bars can stay open until 5 a.m. They also then have the ability to reopen at 6 a.m. the following day. So you can stay open until 5. You got to be closed for that hour, and then you can just turn around and open right back up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Seems very aggressive to me. But I remember when we had this conversation, I felt like more people than not were on the opposite side of it. Hey, this is different. You should let the bars decide. Well, the city sounds like they have reached a compromise. These are the bars that are going to be open until 5 a.m. during the World Cup. Missy B's, Beckett's, The Quaff, The Blue Line, Tin Roof, The Levee, Up Down, El Pueblito, Thirsty Bull Saloon, Howl at the Moon, Frost KC, Gamble's, Layla Lounge, Twin City Tavern, and Buzzard Beach. Those are going to be the bars that, at least on the Missouri side, I don't know the Kansas side, but on the Kansas City, Missouri side, those are the bars that are going to be open until 5 a.m. If you are so inclined to be out dancing, drinking, getting your boogie on super late at night, that's where you can go during the World Cup. When does that officially start? Does that start next week because the World Cup starts on the 16th?
I don't know. Does it start Friday? Like when the United States starts playing?
I don't know. I do not have the answer to that. I wish that I had the answer to that question, but I do not have the answer to your question.
How about this? Me and you will go to the Blue Line. We'll hang out until they kick us out. If it's 5 a.m., we know it started.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is a 0% chance that I will be at any of these establishments that late at night. Does that still count as night or is that morning?
Oh, that's morning. 100% that's morning.
When does night end and when does it turn into in the morning?
I think when you're closer to sunrise versus sunset.
Have you been to Beckett's before?
Yeah, I went once.
Can you imagine being at Beckett's at 3 a.m.? Can you imagine being at Beckett's at 4 a.m.?
Dude, I went there at like 9.
Have you ever walked into Buzzard Beach before? Can you imagine being at Buzzard Beach at 5 a.m. in the morning? Have you ever seen the movie Roadhouse? The Deuce? That's what Buzzard Beach is. I don't need to be there that early in the morning. I really don't. I don't need to be there. I went there one time. I saw it. I don't need to go back. If that's where you like to go, great. To me, this is not a list of where I need to be. This is a list telling me where I do not need to be. I don't need to be at these places. Not that time. I don't mind going during the day. I don't need to be there in the 3:45 a.m. No, I don't need to be there. No, that sounds very dangerous for me.
I'm too old for some of these bars already. I'm definitely too old to be out there at 5 a.m. I went to Levy once for trivia, and I feel like the oldest person on earth. I can't go to yeah.
and think about it, you went at a regular time. You went at a regular time.
It was a regular Thursday.
You and Gamble's playing pool, and it's 4:50 in the morning, bro. Go home.
Or Spin Zone Pool Sharks. Go to Gamble's at 4 a.m.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. All right, I'm not going to reread the list. It is out there if you want. The text line, you remember, the text line was real big on let these small businesses go make money. I hope you go support them during this time. I hope you're at Missy B's at 4:15 in the morning. I hope you're at Howl at the Moon at 3:52 a.m. on a Monday night. Support these small businesses. Go out and support Kansas City during the World Cup. All right, Rob, hit it.
Number 2.
All right, you can fade the music down for this. Can you give people the update on Patrick Mahomes for me, please? And while you're pulling it up, I will give you so far, the Chiefs have paid Patrick Mahomes $232 million in his life. $232. That's a pretty good chunk of change. Rob, they have now committed to paying Patrick Mahomes $500 million over the next 8 seasons. So we are going to be at $750 million before he is 40 years old. We are not talking about Mahomes before he ever does a commercial. We're not talking about how much he gets from State Farm. We're not talking about how much he gets from Community America, how much he gets from Hy-Vee, how much he gets from Adidas, how much he gets for Essentia, and all of the other things that he has his hands in. I'm guessing he has some investments. I'm guessing he has money. Mahomes might touch 1.5 by the time he's done playing football, honestly. He might touch 1.5 by the time he's officially done playing football.
Are we counting dividends for owning professional sports teams?
Yeah, I mean,
that's free money, by the way.
He's got to get something from the Broncos. Like, you got to get something. I mean, they just sold, right? He's part owner of the Broncos. They got to give him something. I mean, he's also part owner of the Bills, too. I didn't know you could do that. It feels like a conflict of interest. How you can have part ownership in all of these different teams. Can you imagine if the KC Current sold? He probably would get a good chunk of change from that, too.
I bet he gets a nice chunk of change from the Current. They own their stadium.
Yeah.
A lot of teams don't do that. His other ownership group, for example.
Oh, you're right.
But here is the tweet from Adam Schefter. The Chiefs are adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract, tying him to Kansas City all the way through the 2033 season, with a value of $504.75 million, with the first NFL deal valued at over $500 million, with incentives and escalators and get all the way to $522 million. He now has an APY of $64 million per year once this deal kicks in. That is all the details we have on Patrick Mahomes' inordinate amount of money he's going to have.
So we've been asked this question before. I was pretty sure of it being the case. It has now been confirmed by the people that do this for a living to break down contracts. This does not have an effect for this year's salary cap. They've already done that deal. So before the league year officially opened, before free agency got going, the Chiefs took a large portion of his base salary, $44 million. So your base salary, to just simplify this, is that's what they give you per game check. So every game check, they take your base salary, they divide it by 17, they pay it out every Tuesday, just like how you and I get paid. So the Chiefs took $44 million of his game checks and turned it immediately into signing bonus. Hey, this is money that we planned on giving you in September, October, November, etc. We are now going to give that money to you right now in the form of a signing bonus. They also have what is called a roster bonus. Are you on the team? Well, we all know they're not cutting them anytime soon. So the Chiefs paid out, I can do the math here, $54 million to Patrick Mahomes back in February to create an exorbitant amount of cap space. Now, fast forward to now, and I understand why people are asking the question, hey, do we free up a little bit of cap space? Well, now his game checks are instead of being divided by $45 million, the way that it was before, it is now divided by $1.3 million. There's not really more left meat that you can cut off of the bone because you've already cut it all off. That's just for 2026. Now, for 2027, I'm guessing they'll do the exact same thing and they'll restructure the contract for 2028, 2029. They're always doing a good job keeping that cap number low and functional within the rest of their roster in order to improve the rest of the team. But it is also important to the Kansas City Chiefs, assuming it's also very important to Patrick Mahomes, that his salary stay in line with other quarterbacks in the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes is not going to be the 18th highest paid quarterback in the league and watch all of his peers get all of this money. No, that is not the way this works. So what you've seen Kansas City do is now 2 separate times in this 10-year deal, they have renegotiated the terms to make sure that Pat gets more upfront cash and more guaranteed money. He signed this contract back in 2020. It was originally a 10-year, $450 million deal. In 2023, so 3 years into the deal, they then renegotiate the deal that does not add any additional years to it, just $43 million. So the market started to change, and guys like Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love and all these guys started to get paid. And if I'm Patrick Mahomes' agent, I'm saying, not my guy that's won 2 MVPs, not my guy that's taken you guys to 5 Super Bowls. He is not going to be the 11th highest paid quarterback in the league. So let's figure out what we need to do to make sure that the money is right. They made the money right in 2023. Fast forward in 2026, they are now doing the exact same thing. They are giving him more upfront cash and more guarantees so you can continue to spread this out over the life of the contract. So I don't want anybody to look at this as a here and now move and what does this mean for the Chiefs now? This doesn't mean a whole lot for them. They've already made that move. You like Kenneth Walker, right? That's how they got Kenneth Walker. They got Kenneth Walker by doing that move earlier in the year with Patrick Mahomes. Now, next season, if you need to go get a wide receiver, guess where some of that money is going to come from? It's going to come from this deal, and they're going to move it around a little bit. Or you got to go get a right tackle next year, or you got to go get an additional pass rusher. Whatever big ticket, big check item that they get next year, they will likely get that deal because of another Patrick Mahomes restructure. That has been the way that they have freed up cap space over the last couple of years. So that's what I think this move continues to signify. It continues to show how in lockstep the Chiefs are with Patrick Mahomes and his agent and his team in order to financially make this thing work. And also, it shows that the quarterback in the organization are on the same page about his compensation and also how much he needs to make for him to be happy, but also continue to strengthen the roster and give themselves a chance to win championships every year.
I don't mean to have this sound like I'm underselling this day, because it's a good moment for the Mahomes family. It's good for the Chiefs, peace of mind, all those things. Today was kind of an accounting trick. They took the money they already owed him. They added more to it. They added more years. They said, you're going to be a Chief until 2023. You're now paid competitive to the market. Congratulations. Like that's what happened today, is that, or at least how I'm viewing what happened today. The Chiefs knew 2 years ago when Trevor Lawrence, he's going to be the player I use, got that mega deal that, okay, Patrick Mahomes should not be making less money than him. He should be making less money than Justin Herbert. He shouldn't make less money than fill-in-the-blank quarterback. They waited because every 3 years they basically can come back to the negotiating table and use his contract that already exists to get him more money and more years. And this time, they came to him and said, okay, you're the 12th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. We know that's unacceptable. You know that's unacceptable. You give us more years in the back end, we'll give you more money in the now, and we'll give you more money in the later. So Patrick Mahomes is now going to be in Kansas City through 2033. That year seems made up, but that doesn't matter. Through 2033, making $500 million. It's everyone wins from this deal.
Yeah, so someone on the text line just said, C-Dot, why is the league I can't believe that people are taking the Patrick Mahomes
I
as
can't believe you're
ownership
reading
in the
this
Bills.
text from this
I
guy.
just can't believe it. C-Dot, where are you getting your information? Patrick Mahomes does not have ownership over the Broncos and the Bills. You know that active players are not allowed to have ownership over NFL teams. That joke went very much over your head if you think that I was a serious thing that I was saying. Back to what we were talking about. C-Dot, why is the league so much different for Mahomes than it was for Brady? They didn't do this. They did do this with Brady. We just didn't talk about it the same way because why would you care if we were talking about it? But they moved Brady's contract around a lot when he was the quarterback for the New England Patriots for this exact same reason. Now, obviously, the money was different, and it never really exploded in the way that it is exploded now post-COVID. But Tom Brady made $350 million playing football. Tom Brady started playing football in the 2000s. To let you know how different the salary cap was, Tom Brady made $230,000 his first year in the league. Like, he didn't really start getting paid until the pretty later in his career. Hey, Rob, the first year that Tom Brady made more than $10 million wasn't until he was 28 years old. So just the contracts were just radically different at that time. But yeah, no, Brady and the Patriots manipulated his contract and moved things around a lot. They did a lot of restructures, a lot of here's a contract extension, a lot of converting money into bonuses. It's the only way to do it if you got a good quarterback and you want to keep winning. You remember there used to be a stigma in the league that you cannot pay your quarterback and win championships. Everybody said that for a long time. Well, now everybody pays their quarterback. What good team hasn't paid their quarterback now at this point or about to pay their quarterback? So in order to make it work in a salary cap league, you got to be creative with the math. You got to be creative with the money. You got to move some stuff around to make it work. And this is how the Chiefs are making it work. And it's just different. And why we talk about this with Mahomes is its end date is so far out compared to everybody else's. That's not the way the C.J. Stroud contract is going to be. That's not the way the Trevor Lawrence contract is going to be. If you're under contract, Patrick Mahomes will be under contract from Kansas City from 2017 until 2033. No other quarterback or no other player in the league has that kind of deal.
I also think, like, the way that, to your point about manipulation, we're about 12 to 13 months away from a couple of quarterback deals that make Patrick Mahomes the 5th highest paid quarterback. And in 2 years, he'll be 7th, 8th, 9th. And people will be saying, wow, Mahomes is so underpaid. Like, that's the beauty of this contract the Chiefs have with Mahomes is that A, it's living and it's ever evolving. And 2, there's basically only 1 year where he's like super duper, wow, he's the top of the market paid. It's ever evolving. And there's mechanisms for them to restructure this and restructure that. They constantly are doing it. So outside of the fact that unless you hate Patrick Mahomes, which I can't imagine anyone listening feels that way, this is a great deal for the Chiefs, and I mean, even better deal for the Mahomes family. Not that they were hurting for money, but they're definitely not hurting for money now.
Text line 913-586-7965. I'm not gonna make it seem like it's a lot of people that think this. I'm really surprised that there's any amount of pushback to this deal.
I think people are jaded by last season. I'm not agreeing with them. I'm just stating that.
That's dumb. If you are equating this one deal now because of last season and the one injury, to me, you are missing the bigger picture. Is that I'm not saying he is number one on the list. I'm sure there's some other people, but there might not be an athlete who has been more important to their individual team than Patrick Mahomes has been to the Kansas City Chiefs. There is guys who are probably equal level of importance. Michael Jordan to the Bulls, Tom Brady to the New England Patriots. We can find guys who are on that same level. But if we are talking about S-tier athletes, right? This person is associated with this franchise. It is very clearly to me Patrick Mahomes. It is very, very clear to me who it is. So to now have questions about, oh, well, what about the knee? What about last year? What about the end of the deal? I don't care about any of that. You've been to 5 Super Bowls. I just don't know how you can grow up around the Chiefs and watch them in the 90s and watch them in the 2000s before he got here. And now you're like, hey, I don't know, man. That contract when he's 37 might be too much. Well, you know what? Why it's too much? Because you were probably underpaying him when he was 26 and 27 years old. I'm sorry. It's now become due. The Warriors would maybe be in a better situation if they traded Steph Curry. But why in the world would you trade Steph Curry? He's Steph Curry. The Warriors could prepare themselves for the future. Yeah, I'm sure. Trade Steph to a contending team, load up on draft picks, and try to be the Thunder. You got Steph Curry on your team. You owe it to that man to let him finish out his career in that uniform. That's the level that Patrick Mahomes should be at. So if anything, he's underpaid to me. That $500 million they're giving him over the next 8 years, that's not nearly enough. You wouldn't have built that stadium without him. You think Travis Kelce ever marries Taylor Swift if the Chiefs don't turn into a dynasty? No. Look at the lives he's changed. He's changed the course of pop culture. I don't know if he get the World Cup if Mahomes doesn't come here. Look at that. He's been worked at 18-fold for Kansas City. No, give as much money as you're going to give him. I don't care about that. We'll be back tomorrow after the day game. Go Knicks.